I was on the putting green with Daddy Padre right before, and he comes flying in with his carts, and he goes, "Padre, let's go."
Padre, let's go. New T-shirt.
And Daddy Padre shuffled over, and he was like, "Oh God, I guess I gotta go."
And what was the result of that match? Obviously, you won. Was it a skull effing, or was it a tight match?
I think I won 5-4.
Doug, was it 5-4? I know you had.
I don't know.
That wasn't that close.
Well, I'm surprised he would think he could even keep it close against an old gunslinger.
He got the
like
attention
yourself.
he wanted. He played the match. Even if he didn't win, he got all the attention about the match. So that's what he wants.
Yeah, everyone in Illinois is friends. All 12 million of us. What a dolt. I have no idea who the Illsider is. Steve and I are friends. He had us over to his place. We've had beers together. He's a great American. Beer cats.
Yeah, you invite yourself over there like you do to Biff's.
Oh, gosh. Does Biff have ketchup that needs marrying?
Yeah, well, he had to clean dishes when he's done.
Oh.
Did he really? Wow. Tough responsibilities.
Well, he's good at it. This was his job.
You literally talked to me in the cart about match play and how it was played. Then after the match, you told me to call him the next day, and once I did, you claimed I was banned. It was a one-hole win. You were losing until hole number 17.
Losing till hole 17, and somehow I won on 17?
Doug, pull up the video.
I guess maybe he won 17 and 18.
Par 3. He was playing about 162. Hawk in out of the east that day.
Yes, you could have been losing 117 and 18. You'd have won by a
I
stroke.
don't believe it went down to the last hole with him. Either way, you lost. But I don't believe it went to the last hole.
Yeah.
A lot of activity going on in this YouTube chat this morning. Come on in.
Well, it would be nice to maybe try to bury the hatchet with him.
And producer Joe.
Yes.
And Doug, we could have a peaceful TMA society.
Yeah.
And then we all sleep together. Bury ourselves in each other's fluids.
That's up to him.
You need to get maybe throw beer cats in that foursome with Daddy Padre
Yes!
and Joe and you.
What a
Just have
healing moment.
Just a hate group that you can go out and just spit venom at each other for 18 holes.
No.
That's it? Just no. I thought it was a good idea.
I liked it too.
No, I mean, it's no big deal. The only reason they're talked about is when they text in. If you didn't text in, these people would never be mentioned. I would never think about them. They're not in my mind, but when they text in and then Tim reads it, then we discuss it. But no, it's no.
Well, it all got started just because I got the email from Joe because people who have been eliminated from our fantasy baseball league are picking up players off the waiver wire.
Well, I thought you were talking.
Which to me, honestly, is incredibly fascinating, just why somebody would do that. I don't know.
I just thought you were talking about the rules because I mentioned the pick six that I listened to, and you brought that up, and then it made me think it was the same scenario of my ordeal.
Yeah. I wasn't complaining when I brought it up to Joe. I was curious. Well, I wasn't.
Oh, I know you weren't mad.
Right.
I wasn't mad either until I lost, and then found out that wasn't the
But by
tiebreaker.
definition, even though I tied, I lost, and I was just like, I'm surprised by that. But then I looked up the rules, and I saw head-to-head determines the winner. So I thought, oh, well, that's a rule we probably need to change. But by rule, I lost in the playoffs. So I tipped my cap to the team, and Doug, we look in the mirror. The Southside Seaman looks in the mirror every year. We have a week-long conference in Palm Springs where we get together and try to get better for next year. So,
well, what's weird is I looked up the rule too, and it was head-to-head, and then it didn't be that. It ended up being something else. That wasn't the rule. It was something else. I don't know what it was.
It's hard to get better for next year in September when you really lose all of your players and you don't know who you're going to have until 5 minutes before the draft comes and you learn your draft spot.
Well, we still have that week-long conference in Palm Springs. Okay. You just have sex with Daddy Padre already, Eric, in the Central West End.
Well, I'm not gay.
Okay.
If I was, you wouldn't be my type.
Where is the Maitland Ward interview? Thanks, Scissor Me Timber.
Well, I got a text from Brian Gross yesterday.
Oh, well. Ooh, breaking news.
I'll just go ahead and read it because nobody believes anything.
All right. Look it up under your own leisure.
I get plenty of texts throughout the day, so it's not the first one up there.
No, I wouldn't think it would be.
There's one from Plowboy Cletus and Raby, Chrissy Blake, Brian Fabulous Fish, Debbie Ellman, Alina.
Doug, here are the people texting Iggy.
Yeah.
Rita Ray Rocks, and here's Brian.
Fabulous Fishco sent you something, huh?
Well, I just text him every Tuesday to see what I want.
Oh, are you going to get some salmon? Guess not.
Right, this was yesterday. No, this was Monday. Can we get something on the books for next week? I'm working on it. I will email you an opening. Thanks, buddy. And then yesterday, looking at beginning of October, we'll let you know shortly.
What are we doing right now?
That's what Brian Gross sent me yesterday.
Oh.
Looking at beginning of October, we'll know shortly.
To try to line up an interview with Maitland Ward.
I said thank you. So that was the last update.
Buying a home is the American dream, and no one deserves that dream more than the brave men and women who sacrifice and serve this great nation of ours. If you're VA eligible, there's no better loan than the Hero Loan. You can buy a home with no money down, or you can refinance and pull the cash out up to 100% of your appraised value. We can close your VA loan in as little as 14 days. HeroLoan.com, the only way to VA. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan of TMA, and I am thrilled to have new clients on board Longo Biggs Injury Law. CD Longo and Doug Biggs. And Doug, the thing I want our audience to know is that you guys are local and you guys are different. Tell our audience how you're different.
Yeah, Tim, both CD and I are from St. Louis area, born and raised in the South City area or the South County area, and we are also thrilled to be part of the TMA family now. If anyone signs up with us for an injury case, their case is treated like they are family. We get to know you, we get to know the ins and outs of your case, and make sure we represent you like you are part of our family. We're not like one of the large firms in the area who might take your case and just treat you like another number or another file. You'll get our personal attention. It's either CD and I who will handle your case directly, and if you are injured in an accident, please remember us. You can visit us at longobiggs.com, and that's Biggs with 2 G's.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hey, St. Louis, Eddie McVeigh here from Maggie O'Brien's. When you head downtown for a concert or cards or blues game, and now for the St. Louis City soccer game, please come see us at Maggie O'Brien's before and after your event. Take our shuttle to and from, or stay in-house and watch your favorite team on our multiple high-def TVs. We look forward to seeing you soon at one of our 2 locations in Sunset Hills on South Lindbergh or downtown at the corner of Market and 20th Street. Union Station is next to us.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, The Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
707 in St. Louis, you're listening to the Ryan Kelly Morning After from our Michelob Ultra Studios. Welcome, friends, to the Munganess, St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota, 7 o'clock hour. Timothy Michael McKernan, Douglas Elvin Vaughn, Kenneth Iggy Strode, the Plowhawk, and Action Jackson with you. And we welcome you to be a friend of the feather and text in the EDF group text inbox 314-881-TMA5. Call in 636-9004-TMA or email in for our design, air, heating, and cooling email of the day. And Doug, you say the first of the month is fun, not just because of the tribute to Bone Thugs and Harmony, but also because we clean off our jerseys from the previous month. Oh. We're all wearing clean uniforms as we get ready for a new Milagro Tequila Lister of the Month and a new Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling emailer of the month. Fun times on the first of the month. It's the first of the month. Wake up. It's the first of the month.
And it's the start of summer, the start of meteorological summer anyway.
No.
June 1st, yeah. June, July, and August are the meteorological.
And you always say this
months.
is Sapphic season.
I've never one time said that.
You know what I saw at 4:25, 4:30 this morning?
What?
The 4 Fox Storm truck.
Wow.
Where did you see such a truck?
On 270. Or actually, it would be 40. It was before I hit 270.
It was seeking a storm somewhere?
I was like, this is a badass truck.
That's a nice little truck.
And I was like, oh, it's the 4 Fox.
Yeah.
So you guys are out and about early.
Yeah, you guys wanted it today.
Boy, I think the news starts at 4 a.m.
That's.
I think it does.
Mo Drummond?
There can't be.
So yeah, it's Mo.
There can't be a more better job than waking up at 2 or 1:30 in the morning.
Well, the exposure. You can't put up.
Exposure's darn nice.
When you get your tax return, that actually is line itemed at $1.5 million.
And they're all number 1.
Yeah, every station is number 1.
Yeah,
Number
you can
1.
figure out a demographic usually, or an increase from last year, or some reason to be number 1.
Number 1 morning show with people that can't sleep.
Well, we're kind of in the same industry here. People in radio get up really early. A lot of them. Most morning shows get up a whole another hour earlier than we do.
Yeah,
probably.
we run good on that.
I think Riz gets up at like 3:30.
Oh, he gets up earlier than that because he gets here at 3.
Yeah.
He gets here at 3. We've had multiple conversations over the years about he can't figure out what the hell I'm doing. I can't figure out what the hell he's doing. But he said he can't be able to do the show without getting here 3 hours early. Otherwise I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he just feels like he needs to do that.
I saw this morning. I don't know I didn't text her, but Kay said join AD this morning at 9 o'clock as Learn has a big announcement.
What's this announcement?
I don't know. I didn't ask her.
Who tweeted this out? AD did?
No, it was in the Kay account. It said join AD this morning at 9 o'clock as Learn has a big announcement.
What's this announcement?
I don't know. I didn't text her.
Gosh.
I'm excited
It's
to
not
hear
my
this.
not my business.
It's probably the earliest Learn reference we've had in a while.
Yeah, Doug, it hit at 7:10.
Yeah.
She was in the batting cage yesterday. They got their home run derby this Saturday against the Fast Lane, and Learn is batting.
Which batting cage are they going to?
I think they're in O'Fallon somewhere.
Really?
Dude, baseball terrifies me. I could not imagine going into a batting cage.
Oh, come
Turning
on.
on like 70, 75.
I think it was.
Oh.
It's throwing the ball down the middle of the plate. It's not like it's coming at you.
I don't see it, by the way. It's from the Keishi Twitter account?
You see the Keishi Twitter, the Keishi Facebook page, one of the two.
What is a cuck?
Okay.
Probably Facebook, because I was on there this morning. I was on Twitter this morning. Yeah, I don't know what
Very
it
nice.
is.
Building up your
I guess they're afraid to take on us for a home run derby. But
Oh, yeah.
Don't do
We got
that.
some heavy hitters
It is
here.
a great thing that we're not asked. Let's just keep it that way and keep flying under the radar.
No participation.
They were asking me about a talent fee for something coming up, and I go, I got to be honest with you. I think I have one, but since I haven't done an event, I don't know what it is, so you'll have to check with Tommy what's in my contract because I have no clue. So the sales guy checked with Tommy, and I go, I got to be honest. We've been here 18 months. Now it is 18-month anniversary. Don't even
is
think
that what
about it.
Oh, that's nice.
Jackson, what do we have planned for the 18-month anniversary of Balloon Party today?
John Denton.
That's how we're going to celebrate. Yeah, I guess, yeah, so 18 months.
I would like a cookie.
But I kind of like, I'd like a cookie. But I thought, that's good.
We're just starting our 18th month.
That's right.
Yeah. July 1st would actually be 18 months, right?
Wow.
I think we started on the 2nd.
Wow. Oh, so much math.
June is the 6th month. So we'd have to finish it to be here 18 months.
Yeah, and that's up for snatch grabs,
Right.
candidly.
Oh, okay.
I didn't mean anything by the softball thing. They've been playing as the Fast Lane for many years, so
Yeah, they have.
it's an annual thing.
And it turns out, how about this? One of the members of the Home Run Derby tomorrow, or was it Saturday? Saturday, between the Riz Show and the Fast Lane, played college baseball. And this was brought to my attention yesterday as I was handicapping this showdown. Who was that college baseball player of those two shows?
Is Anthony Stalter on that
That's
show?
a good guess, but that is not the answer.
Moon.
I say Moon.
No.
Can we have initials, please?
R.W.
R.W.
Richard Wagner.
That's correct. That is correct.
Oh, Roy Williams?
Rock Chalk.
Yeah.
Rafe?
That's correct.
Did he?
I saw a swing yesterday. He must have lost it.
Oh, what a horrible thing to say about a
You're
fella.
going to get us dragged into this thing.
Is this softball home run hitting or baseball home run hitting?
Slow pitch softball.
Oh.
Jackson, isn't that right? Ryder said when I was doing the promo for it on Balloon Party that Rafe played college baseball?
He was in my ear.
Okay.
Well, I threw some odds out there. I said, just for the hell of it, I put the Riz Show at plus 115.
Where'd you throw these out?
Keishi's Facebook page.
No.
What, gifts to your neighbors or
Are you
something?
sure you're not on the dark web?
It was on their Instagram. They were live yesterday on their Instagram, taking batting practice.
Wow.
And I threw out odds. I think I put the Fast Lane minus 130 to win. I put Learn hitting a home run plus 175. And I put Jamie Rivers throwing a bat minus 350.
I like cookies.
Yeah.
Well, how far away is the fence?
I have no clue.
So how can you give an odd on a home run if you don't know what they're going
I'm just
for?
playing around. I don't know.
Oh.
Like Learn's not going to hit a home run. I put her plus 175. It could have been like plus 700.
Okay.
Did you know that, that obviously you're trying to do that?
Yes, he did.
She responded, I don't know what this means.
Nice.
How are the sports? Good?
Doug, Mike Matheny, Bo Hart, Scott Spezio, and Andrew Jones will also be there.
They will?
It's quite a lineup.
Andrew Jones.
I know.
Yeah.
The Matheny Bo Hart plays, that's certainly on brand. Speezer is now very involved I shouldn't say very involved, but he's involved, at the very least, with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
Yeah, he'll be here for that in the ballpark.
Oh, is he going to be there? I knew that he'd been speaking at some of the events. I mean, he was low in 2006 and 7 here. Although he was high, he was low.
Yeah.
And then he got lower after leaving baseball. I mean, his story is incredible. So anyway, he found religion, and so that's his reason for being here in St. Louis more often now. But then Andrew Jones. Don't you say Andrew or Andrew?
I always said Andrew, but a lot of people say Andrew.
Curacao, am I right on that?
I think you're right.
Sounds right, yeah.
To me, he might be the best outfielder, Doug, in the history of baseball.
Yeah, I don't know what his
Defensively, you mean?
Correct.
I don't know what
he's
his
up
connection to St. Louis or the Point or the Fast Lane would be.
I don't know.
It's good that he's here. Big
He's
name.
probably AD's teammate.
I think it's $15 to go out there and get autographs.
You going to go?
Saturday night. Are you going? Oh, I sense something here, Doug. I think that's a good read.
I might go and watch.
There it is.
To watch or to
Gonna
sign?
bring his Andrew Jones
I may
bobblehead.
talk to Riz, see if they need like a coach.
You want to coach
I'll
the
just
team?
weasel my way into the big time show.
Oh, gosh.
Get us some publicity, you know.
Get us some publicity. Or you mean get you some publicity?
Oh, my
No, the
God.
show. You know.
We got a real dichotomy here. I want to do as little as possible and fly as under the radar as possible, and Iggy's trying to get us involved. Although, as Doug's observing, it might not be us involved.
But it's just for the show. It's to build our brand.
Sure it is.
We're good with our brand where it is.
I told the
in a
sales-
closet by the bathroom.
I don't know if it
Flying
works.
under the radar.
Out of the way.
I don't know if it works for us. I mean, other stations go out on weekends. But I
God,
think,
you're killing me here.
no, they go out on weekends. But I think,
Okay, that's enough.
Thank you, Doug. Jesus. Thank you, Plowhawk.
AD's going to be at the
I don't
Classic Car
want
Show.
to.
Havaz is going to be at Piccadilly's or someplace.
Oh, my
Aren't you selling
But
cars?
I
We're going to be at
think-
home.
But they can call into their stations, and that's what they do. They promote it. Say, let's go out to AD. He's out at the Classic Car Show, and he comes in and promotes it. I would gladly go out on weekends and do that, but we have nowhere to call in to promote because we're not on the air.
That would be correct. So we're not going to do it.
But I'd gladly go out on Saturdays.
Okay, that's enough.
Doug and I are lockstep here on this. I remember when I was first talking with Tommy. I mean, this is a long time ago now, and not 2013, but 2021. And he goes, yeah, and then people make appearances on the weekends and do this. I go, I got to be honest with you, I'm not interested in that. He goes, well, you get paid. I go, still not interested in it. I would rather have other people who might want to do it, who don't have families. I knew Anna Marie was pregnant. Yeah, that's great. But then I also wanted to make it clear that it wasn't because I wasn't going to work. I'd like to think it's pretty clear. I'm constantly working. I'm insane. But I don't want to just do that kind of stuff. That's not what I want to do.
Yeah,
I would
weekends
rather
are for
have
you. Weekends are for the family.
Well, to each their own, but I also know there are other shows where that is part of the deal. And they kind of looked at me like I was crazy that I didn't want to make more money, but I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I would rather have the people who want to do that do it, but I don't want to do that. But then if that's an expectation coming over here, I don't want it to be perceived as I'm a bad employee if that's what everybody else does. But just on the front end of it, that's not what I'm interested in. One of the sales people contacted me a couple weeks ago about some event, and we get paid to do it. And I said, nah, I'm good. I don't give it to somebody else. This was for 101. I just don't want to do that. So it's out there. It's absolutely out there. But I think I speak on behalf of Doug, and I don't know where I'm speaking on the Plowhawk and Jackson. This is not something I'm really looking for.
If it's something I want to do, I'd like to bust out the pop out somewhere at a couple locales.
What does that mean?
Put on a white T-shirt and grill some charcoal.
Jackson had an appearance down in DeSoto at a racetrack.
Yeah, I've done a couple appearances. I've done 2. It was in DeSoto, deep Jeff County.
How'd that go for you?
You just stand there for a couple hours, hang out. Not a soul in that entire place knew who the hell I was.
I thought you played well in DeSoto.
Right. Well, one would think that based on my content. But no, I don't. I think you could have put anybody in there. I don't know if people will recognize me, but I got paid to just hang out there, and then did some at the casino clean with the Plowhawk.
That's right.
And that was really fun. That was great. Just hang out and have a few beverages and gamble a little. It was great.
Yeah, occasionally those things can be fun.
Right. So, but those were all during the week. They were on the weekend. But I guess the race thing was on Friday. But that was Friday afternoon.
Yeah, Plowsy and I had a big one at 590. We went to PT's at 11 o'clock at night.
Oh, gosh.
And wasn't there a thing where you didn't get paid?
Yeah,
well, we didn't get paid. We
took a while.
stayed there for 4 hours, and they go, yeah, We're going to cancel this.
So you were there for 4 hours and then it got canceled?
Yeah.
That seems kind of...
Didn't have enough girls.
You know, me, Iggy,
like a
and then
flight.
Biff and Big Al.
I felt like there was somebody else involved because maybe it was you who was. And hey, listen, you were owed the money. You should get paid. I don't give a damn what the situation was. Was that what it was? The cat one time. This probably led to like the final hashtag furlough, if I'm not mistaken. He was upset about something, and was like couldn't get a hold of the people in charge, and they weren't getting back to him. And so he went to talk to Melissa Marr. Doug, you know her as
Marr Banks.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Who had nothing to do with management herself, but that was his only conduit, he thought, to talk to somebody in management about an answer. And I don't remember what he was asking for. And then that led to a whole nother thing. And it's still cited years later as like a big thing. And I was there, and they're like, yeah, he was yelling at him. Going, he wasn't yelling at her, but whatever. And they had their mission on the cat. But you or somebody, for some reason I was thinking it was the cat wanted to get paid. But there's no way in the world the cat was at PT's, so that couldn't have been what it was.
No, it was me and Plowsy, and I.
And you were trying to chase down the money, right?
I was told what I was going to get paid an hour.
I knew right away. I didn't do the chasing. I had that inkling that this is not going to be worth it.
Well,
I'm going to get furloughed.
Well, I wasn't going to just let it go. So I was told what I would make an hour.
Yeah.
And I said we were there for 4 hours. And she goes, and the person said, I don't remember that. I said, well, I didn't write a contract. I mean, it's figure you say that, it's good. But then it was like 3 months, didn't get paid, and they kept saying, well, they haven't paid their bill yet. So I actually called BT's, we paid that the next day. So, okay. And then I went in and said that. He goes, oh, yeah, they did pay. We just found out they did pay. Oh, right, I'll cut you a check.
Oh, so you did get paid?
Eventually, yeah, like
nice.
3 months later.
Yeah, but that was a grudge that was held forever.
That you wanted to be paid for work?
Yeah, when I brought it up twice, like I said, I had a vibe check, and I was like, whew. I felt like I was doing something wrong. It's like,
By asking to be paid.
I was hanging out at PTs with strippers and Big Al and Biff, and I love Big Al and Biff, by the way. They're fantastic people. But me and Iggy were grinding out there.
Not to mention, you get home at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you got to get up at like 5:30.
Maybe they thought you wouldn't care to get paid just since you were at PT's. Like, that was pay enough.
What? Being at the east side from 9 to midnight?
I'm just trying to think
or
of
8 to
why
midnight?
they...
Exciting.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have any money, and they were trying to weasel their way out, period. There it is. Bang, bang. That's it. That's the deal.
Those are my last 2 appearances at PT's went well. That, and then I went out for the Stormy Daniels interview, and then she stiffed me.
Sure she did.
And then you got sideways on the Twitter tweets?
I got a Twitter war that had like 1,000 comments on it. That's the most popular I've ever been on Twitter.
That was one of the funniest moments in history.
She said, your people are threatening me with death. And
death?
And I saw one said, look out, you'd be buried in the sunflower garden. She considered that a death threat.
Okay.
I said, well, you don't know our listening audience. They're just kidding.
Well, you could see how she could take it that way, though. If someone's threatening to
I'm
bury
gonna kill somebody because she stiffed me on an interview.
Sunflower garden.
Guys, Iggy is the kid at the back of the classroom who asks about homework right before the bell rings for the long weekend, and even the teacher rolls their eyes and calls him a dork. Doug, that's from Kevin's brother. His first name's Jack, and his last name's Devon.
Why am I a dork? Because I offer to go out and promote the show and the station. And yes, I'm just trying to be a good employee. Now, I am going out July 8th. I'm going out to St. Louis Acura.
What's happening on the 8th?
St. Louis Acura. I'm going out to sell some cars.
Are you going to be a salesman for a day?
Yeah. Buy a car from Iggy. I'll sign.
They don't want your signature. They want a car.
Well, I'll sell them a car, too.
Do you know anything about the cars?
They drive well.
I'll figure out.
Okay.
Talk about the alloy wheels.
What if you sell a few? You get a commission?
I don't want a commission. I'm just out there to have fun. Okay. Jamie asked me to come out. I said, anything for you, buddy.
What a treat.
Doug, this is coming from inside the building.
Oh, no.
The KFNS building. I don't know who it is, though. I was in the sales office when the cat came down and was talking with Marmar Binks. He was not yelling at her. He was yelling about Clown Nose and Bootman.
Oh.
Packer and I tried eavesdropping, but we couldn't. That's from the 314. I don't know who that is over at KFNS listening.
Yeah, there weren't a ton of people over there working.
Right.
I have a feeling I know who it is.
Danny Packer.
I think I know who it is.
There's nobody in that office, so I don't know who that would be.
I'll text you.
I go down to get shirts for TMA Lives. There'd be one person in that office.
Well, they were out selling. kidding me? They were
No,
hitting
the one
streets.
person in there was the one salesperson we had. So
Let's start the good employee train by working your entire 2-hour and 45-minute shift. That's from the Loomster, and he came loaded for Bear Dog.
He sure did.
He was listener of the year candidate, did not win.
there's nothing I can do. I mean, our show's 7 to 10. That's how long I work. If the show is 6 to 10, I work
Well, what if they
4.
need you to work more on a certain day?
I've already said I would.
Oh, okay.
I'll go out on weekends.
Will you?
I'll hang out.
Yeah. Will you sign?
Always.
Pictures?
I gotta get some more pictures of them out.
Yeah, you got to have those glossies.
Well, I can't sign pictures if I don't have any. I think Jesse's working.
Wow,
on that.
I don't think Plowhawk just texted me who he thought it was. He's in Las Vegas. I don't think or Nevada. I thought anyway.
I don't know if he currently is he currently
Yeah, just-
sitting in KFNF. Could he would? I think.
No, he
Okay.
left there. He
No,
also
but I meant
got
he was there at the time. I thought.
Right, I just wouldn't think he'd be up listening.
Oh, got your point. I got your point.
Speaking of the cat, I'm being nominated for the St. Charles USBC.
It's you!
Well, it ties into
Speaking of the cat, I am being nominated.
it ties into the cat. That's I have to preface it.
Oh my God!
But I'm being nominated for the USBC St. Charles Hall of Fame, Bowling Hall of Fame.
Holy crap!
Well,
Tying well with the cat.
St. Charles, absolutely.
Nominated,
The
that
cat is also being nominated for the St. Charles.
Nominated.
Every time I think of Jim Hayes, I think of the bowling Hall of
Nominated.
Fame.
St.
Charles.
Yes.
That doesn't mean I'm getting inducted. I'm just being nominated. And
There's a
I don't know how-
nomination process.
Well, you have to be nominated, and they have to, just like, people are nominated for the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame, and then people vote on it.
Had an opportunity to go into the NFL then, didn't. That was the only chance I had to go in and didn't go. And when I take a pay cut to go, which was hard to do at that time.
There was no money involved, and I don't know how well I'm liked in the St. Charles USBC community, but
This whole community.
one of the things I had to do that this person wanted was the years I was the Fontbonne bowling coach.
Oh, that's going to get you in the Hall of
Come
Fame.
on.
The fact that you
Right.
destroyed
Well, that's
a
why
program?
I'm going in, because of, not for
losses.
bowling. Although I was a good bowler, but I'm not guy. There's guys that have guy just shot his 119th 300 game the other night. But I'm going in for service, like Kegler's Corner for 20 plus years, promoting bowling, teaching kids, things like that. But I didn't remember what years I was there.
At
So
Fontbonne.
Yeah, so I'm Googling.
Did you
Iggy's-
mention the fact that the program shut down after you spent 2 years there?
There is no secret plan.
So I was Googling Iggy Strode named Fontbonne bowling coach, figured it might be released somewhere. I even texted Swope. I said, "Do you know when I was coaching?" But I found an old KFNS.
Wait, stop. You asked Buck Swope when you coached?
Well, he would know.
Why wouldn't you know?
I think he did a Swope's
This
pick on
Hall
us.
of Fame career.
I'm still waiting to hear what this has to do with the cat.
So I
where does
was,
the cat
as
come
I was Googling, the KFNS segment came up where Cat, I think Tim was out because he didn't ask any questions. So I'm guessing Tim was out.
May have been,
That's still 50-50.
may have been emailing. Saving a
But the
furlough.
Cat, they surprised me.
Saving jobs.
They surprised me, and they put Maria on, who was the athletic director at the time, and then they brought Franzi on, who was the coach before me,
Oh,
to
I
talk
remember
about the
this.
program.
Okay.
And that's when Charles Franz said, well, I left in 2008 when Ken took over. So I found out when I started, 2008 to 2010. But it was it was the funniest segment. Cat just would not stop with his interrogation. Now, he said one time that, is it a, Maria, I have to ask you, is it, you have to feed the athletes who are on the road, correct? Because yes, we always feed. Well, Iggy didn't want to stop, so he didn't feed the girls and went straight home. I said, that's not true. But it was really funny. So that's why I bring that. The Cat was hilarious in that segment.
Look at that weave.
Doug, do you see how it all
It's like
tied
a
in?
picture-
see, I
right there at
weaved
the
it
end.
in. I weaved
Right
it
in.
in.
Perfect Afghan.
I weaved it
It
in.
was all about telling us that you just got nominated for this Bowling Hall of Fame.
No, it's no big deal.
That's exactly what that was about.
Doug,
I'm already in the Hall of
I'm
Fame.
going to have to agree with Doug on that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, probably.
it was a very tight and easy read, actually.
Fess up, Whistle Snoot.
But I wanted to bring up how funny that segment. Maybe we could get that in the skeleton. That was a hilarious.
Morning, speaking of the Cat, I scored a goal off of Matthew Kachuk when he was 6. Good Lord, Pawpaw, you're one of a kind. Doug, that's Flocky the Smurf. This story effing sucks. Cut his mic. That's from Ray King. Stop talking. It's from Big Tuft. And all
for that. That's it. That's from Scissor Me Timbers. I love Iggy, but cut his mic.
Cut his mic. Oh.
Chase Richards' boyfriend 100% lied about the lunch stealing story. First it was MICDS, now it's Chaminade. What a very weird thing to lie about. That's from Mr. Slay.
It was one of those preppy schools. Chaminade Country Day, I don't remember. It was one of those preppy schools.
Country Day, that's too preppy of a name.
And Chaminade's preppy, too.
Doug, what is the preppiest school in St. Louis?
Well, probably MICDS.
I think CBC.
And it was like 1973 or 4, so 50 years ago. I don't remember the school.
CBC reminds me of like Yacht Boat Rock, where SLU is like, you know, cultured men holding like old man pipes.
What are you basing that off?
Nothing. I have no knowledge of either institution.
I think MICDS would be the preppiest school in town.
It's pricey.
Chaminade's
What's that going for these days, Jackson?
31 and a half.
Oh.
31 and a half.
High school?
That's right.
Unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, that better be automatic, get you into whatever university you may want.
The place looks like a university.
I've never
Looks like a
actually
small-
seen it.
It's gorgeous.
It's massive.
Yeah.
SLU is kind of preppy. You had to wear uniforms, didn't you?
No, we didn't have uniforms.
Oh, no? I thought you had to wear uniforms.
See, I like the
There was a
locales.
dress code, but there weren't uniforms.
Yeah, but like Chaminade and Country Day, I think they have pants and
I don't-
shirts they have
No,
to wear.
MICDS is not.
I'd be shocked.
It's all dress codes. Like you have to wear a collared shirt and khakis, but it's not like here's like what every single
Well, I think
person
back in my
wears.
day, they wore the same shirt, the same white Oxford with a blue jacket and pants and
What'd y'all do for lunch?
little beanies.
Did y'all have like off-campus lunch?
At
or-
Kirkwood?
No, like was there ever off-campus lunch at their schools, or was it all private schools?
I think our senior year, I mean, this was 25
Okay.
years ago now, but I think our senior year, you could go off campus, I
Okay.
think, but that was it.
'Cause we had that luxury, and that was great, but I wasn't for sure. I know high schools are different.
We certainly did not.
You could
What-
not, Jackson?
No,
At
once
Horton Watkins?
the school day started, you had to stay. Like if you were leaving, you were leaving. If you were staying, you were staying.
They had a student smoking section at Kirkwood.
That's
I don't know if
that's
they. I don't think they still do that.
No, we used to use the bathrooms.
They used to use the bathrooms
Smoking
even when I
one.
was in high school. That would be the spot. Or like buses where we would bus to like, you know, a field trip or something. People would just be hammering ciggies and nobody cared. But yeah, I didn't know if the off-campus lunch thing existed.
Yeah,
here.
Brentwood you could. A lot of us would go to Carl's or Velvet Freeze.
Oh my
Ooh,
God,
Carl
Carl's, are you
Strong. What a nice
kidding
little treat when you're in high school. You're welcome to give your thoughts. Many have already chosen to do so without invite. In the EDF group text inbox, 314-881-TMA5. That is how you can text into this award-winning radio presentation. It's the EDF group. You may remember them as Engineer Design Facilities. Well, now they are the EDF Group. EDF Group, sponsor of our text inbox, also the sponsor of the pre-party for our Dotem a couple of weeks ago. Engineer Design Facilities moving forward as the EDF Group, the most experienced data center and critical facilities service provider in the St. Louis market. Check out the newly revamped website, theedfgroup.com, and take a look at each of the 3 divisions they have to offer. EDF Group is your one throat to choke for all your critical facilities, data center, commercial, fire alarm, and electrical and IT infrastructure needs. To contact the EDF Group, email fire@theedfgroup.com. Experience the EDF Group difference and learn more at the edfgroup.com. We are in our Michelob Ultra Studios, 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbohydrates, sponsor of the J. Randolph Jr. Fan Page Club Championship as well. And Doug, you filled out 12 brackets in the office pool, and in 8 of your brackets, you had both Guy Watson and Todd Callahan in the Elite 8, and they are both in the Elite 8, and you are currently in
Okay.
first place in the
Yeah.
office pool.
I'll make a lot of money on this one. No, I didn't make a pool. Never would, never have.
Well, you'd probably have to have Guy and Callahan in there. They're both former champions.
Yeah, do you base it on former
I didn't have a bracket. I don't care. This is a Shishawali event.
Well, Callahan shouldn't have been in there if I didn't lip out a putt. He's not in, doesn't win.
It
but-
gets back to you again.
Did you do a survivor's pool?
I did no pools.
Yeah, Survivor Pool would be fun. Should have done that.
No pools.
Well, thank you to Michelob Ultra for
Just don't
sponsoring.
care.
What a treat.
So congratulations to Guy, and congratulations to Todd Callahan. He beat Flip Wilson, who beat KG in O-Town.
Oh.
Yeah, how about that? Flip Wilson, according to KG in O-Town, skull-effed KG in O-Town.
So
But
these
then
fellows are 2 wins away, 3 wins away from
3 wins away from $2,500.
Oh, my.
I mean,
I think Guy yesterday, because Cletus was on the phone telling me about the match.
Doug, were you on the phone with Cletus about
No.
Yeah, I don't know why he called me, but Guy was in the car, and Cletus asked him.
I would throw my phone out the window like it was a bomb if somebody called me to talk about their fan page club championship.
I'll never hang up on Cletus. But he said, no, there's no way, because a lot of people are talking about, splitting, the pot when it gets down to the final 2 or whatever.
Like a lot of people are doing.
Yeah, everyone, where I go, that's all,
And he said,
people are talking. You can't turn on TV without
and he said,
hearing about
I know Guy wouldn't do that. And Guy said, hell yeah, I would. But Guy said, 2,000 for the winner, 500 for the second place. That's how he'd split. He'd agree that the second place guy will get 500.
Doug, they call it chopping a pot.
Yeah, I know.
And everybody's talking about it.
Everyone is talking about
You
that.
pretty much have to win 500 to get your money back.
Imagine standing over a putt for $2,500, Bill.
Yeah, it wouldn't bother me.
No, of course not. You're Mr. Cool.
Well, I would have chopped it. So it doesn't matter if I win or not. I'm getting half the pot.
Hey, guys, I got a great story about the cat. Have I ever told you about getting peed on when I was a kid? Or how about the time I got peed on when I almost got caught banging some married girl? I swear, this is going to be about the cat. Just let it develop. Thanks. That's from John.
Well, it was a fun little story. If you haven't listened to that segment, it was actually pretty good. Maria was kind of disagreeing with all the things. He goes, yeah, this 2.5 years going to 2 terms really isn't very good.
You wouldn't schedule an event for the girls.
And then Charles came on and said, I was taking them to like 15 a year.
Now, why didn't you do that? Why didn't you do better?
Go listen to the segment.
I was there. I was there for the segment. I'm asking again so we can all be updated. Why didn't you do better scheduling events for the team?
I didn't want to drive.
Then why did you take the job as coach?
For the money.
Well, at least you're
Are you proud of your tenure there?
Not particularly.
No.
I didn't do anything.
But it could get you in the Hall of Fame.
We went to Determinus, and they were in Belleville, and they were in St. Charles.
So you drove half an hour.
The ones in Wisconsin and Alabama, I had no interest.
Well, what about the girls? They would have had an interest.
Well, they did have an interest. What am I going to do?
Take them? That was your job. That was your one job.
I also had a guys' team that I had to worry about.
Okay, take them too.
Okay, how many
can't
tournaments did they
drive
play?
They bowled in one. They bowled with the girls in Belleville.
Oh my gosh, a team event?
Well, what am I going to do?
It could be one of the worst coaching performances in the history of the sport.
I've got 5 girls, and on a Friday, oh, Coach, I can't bowl tomorrow. I have cheer practice. Well, we got 4. Can't bowl.
Take 4.
Can't.
I imagine the relief washed over your face when someone told you that they couldn't bowl the next day and you couldn't go.
Yeah.
Oh,
How about recruit an extra bowler?
Well, I had one in Mississippi that was, we were going to be staying at a casino for the guys' team. And I said, God, I do not want to drive to Mississippi for this thing. So a guy didn't show up for practice, and I said, all right, you can't, you're out. You can't bowl. He goes, what? It was just, I forgot all about it. I had a meeting, Coach. I said, well, you weren't at practice. You can't bowl. We don't have enough. Can't go.
You were the worst coach in bowling history.
That
The
is-
worst coach in maybe in college athletics history.
At least take bribes. I'd rather at least.
Recruit extra players. A coach's job is recruiting.
I got
Simple. I don't want to drive.
a picture in my head of Iggy walking into the living room of some superstar high school bowler and completely losing it on the bowling.
Guys, I cannot believe I am being forced to relive a terrible phone call from a red wine drunkard about some garbage-level golf tournament. The lack of self-awareness is truly next level. Doug, that's from Big Saggers.
All right,
Well, we were talking about the Fan Page Club Championship, and I brought up that he won yesterday, and Cletus called me. He's proud of his son.
Okay, sure he is.
That's all.
Okay.
Callahan didn't call me after his match.
Why would he? Why would he?
I don't know.
No, he didn't. There'd be no reason for him to do that.
That's enough of me for Wallace.
Cuddy's mic.
Oh, my God in heaven. Doug, here is Stephen A. Smith talking about breast milk.
Okay.
Here's what I've been doing. I'm opening it up. No,
The Adobe doesn't work.
No, I'm going to open it up as you call for it. It takes 2 seconds, and it's just a lot easier.
Okay, hit
Josh
delete.
Hart.
sent out some kind of tweet or whatever asking folks if we'd ever taste breast milk. Breast milk. That's what he said. Now, I've never been inclined to taste breast milk.
What?
I like breast. You don't have to be a baby to like breast. Matter of fact, one could easily argue there are adults who like breast more than babies.
It's got to be one of the best
However,
takes.
breast milk is a different matter. He asked that question. I'm like, damn, Josh. What the hell? No wonder why Jalen Brunson said lose the number. Josh Hart is a weird one, but he is somebody I hope remains a New York Knick.
Good Lord. And this guy makes like 10, 12 million a year.
I'm telling you.
So yesterday, what was I telling? I told Jackson at the end of Balloon Party, Doug, something I think you would agree with. You're in a bad business, baby. That's what I said to him about the industry. Because how did we even get on the topic of it? Do you recall?
Stephen A?
No, but there was some question that you asked me.
Oh, about the Drinkwitz NIL comment.
Oh, yeah, about how that turned into a whole thing, because social media engagement and people who are making no money just need to try to get attention. And that's what they do on Twitter and Instagram, even though they'll never monetize it. With that said, I said to Jackson, watch this, Doug. You're in a bad business, baby.
That's what you said to him?
Now, one out of every, what do you think, 10,000 people who attempt to go into sportscasting will make material dollars. I suppose material is in the eye of the beholder. But either way, Jackson, and I said to Jackson, I go, the Stephen A. Smith, though, he's everywhere. He's making $12 million. And then Jackson goes, and this is in a commercial break, yeah, and he's really horny. And I go,
what?
How do you...
Well, how do you know that?
How do you know that? Jackson then tell me the anecdote you told me during the commercial break of Balloon Party.
Well, so like when he leaves ESPN and either does his own podcast or other people's podcast, he just lets everything loose and he gets all horned up. Like they ask him questions about tossing salad and he gives them in-depth answers, and then he's talking about breast milk, and he kind of sounds like a late-night radio DJ when he does it, and it's just outstanding.
There are adults who like breast more than babies.
I mean, nothing. That's one of the better ones we've had.
The second he leaves his Disney job, it's just, let me get all horny on these podcasts, and I think it's outstanding. It really makes me laugh.
I had no idea this existed, that he goes on other podcasts or his own podcasts and talk about eating ass and breast milk.
Oh, I'm telling you.
But we just heard the breast milk thing, and then one could argue.
Josh Hart sent out some kind of tweet or whatever asking folks if we'd ever taste breast milk.
that pause.
Very dramatic.
That doesn't make any sense.
He's done yelling at Chris Russo and Kendrick Perkins, and then he goes on and goes, all right, now it's time to talk about eating ass.
I'm telling you.
He's got it figured out. Not the rest of us. He's got it figured out.
He's $15 million a year right now.
The way he worded that, it doesn't make any sense. Josh Hart tweeted something out or something like that asking, did he ever taste breast milk? Why would you ask other people if he ever tasted breast milk? Wouldn't he know?
The tweet was Josh Hart saying, have any of you ever tried breast milk? Just
All right, well,
curious.
play it again. Here's his words.
Oh, you want me to play?
One more time,
Just the beginning, Josh Hart.
Josh Hart sent out some kind of tweet or whatever asking folks if we'd ever taste.
Yeah, if he'd ever. Why you asked
Weed.
Oh, they said he.
No, he said if we'd ever tasted.
Weed.
Okay, I thought he said he.
I like breast. You don't have to be a baby to like breast.
I mean, come on, those two drops are insane.
I'm going to try to find when he talked about eating ass on
Where
Pardon
was
My
he talking
Take.
about eating ass?
I'm pretty sure it was Pardon My Take. But like other people have like asked him, or maybe Jake Paul asked him about it. Was Jake Paul. It was 100% Jake Paul asked him about eating ass.
Doug, did you hear Jake Paul interview Stephen A. Smith about ass eating?
No, I don't.
God, that sounds like a hell of a podcast. Can't be on this one.
I'd love to hear that, but it's on Jake Paul, so there could be some cussing and graphic stuff.
Well, it sounds like eating ass ain't gonna be graphic, right?
But he may use words that...
Yeah.
One could easily argue there are adults who like breast more than babies.
I'm sorry. How he says babies there.
Yeah,
Creepy
the way he
as
says
all
it. It's like hosting Quiet Storm.
Where was this on? Was this on ESPN? What we're hearing?
I think it was his own podcast.
Yes, and I had no idea. We were talking about this. We were talking about, because I said, Stephen A. Smith, I was at a Rams 49ers game in San Francisco 20 years ago, and I didn't really know who he was, and I just noticed this. He was kind of like looking at me. I'm like, man, this guy from the Philadelphia Inquirer is like looking me up and down. I don't know what the hell's going on. And then Jackson goes, oh, he's really horny. And I go, Stephen A. Smith, the guy who's like up there yelling and rolling his eyes when guys are giving NBA takes? He goes, oh, yeah, when he goes on these podcasts, he's always talking about eating ass. And I go, God bless.
So why was he staring at you?
I don't know. Maybe he wanted to eat mine.
I found it. I'm going to go pull the clip and put it in our system.
Is he not married?
No, he's not.
He's probably banging them two at a time with that payroll.
He's tall, too.
Oh.
He was standing next to J.J. Redick. He was like an inch shorter.
Nice.
Okay.
Doug, he's a
What
tall
does that
man.
have to do with it?
Well, I think, I don't know, maybe it's because the seated thing, but I would have always thought Stephen A. Smith was short.
Yeah, me too.
But he's pretty tall. And then he'll walk into Knicks game like he owns the place. He's dabbing people up and walking around like the king of New York. It's outstanding. I love Stephen A. Smith.
Whoa.
I remember when we just go on ESPN as an NBA analyst before games. So that was his job. He's a reporter. Now look at him.
Yeah.
Doug, why don't we go give takes about the NBA?
Well, you have to have big opinions to make the big money, usually.
Have to act
Yeah,
like
that's a big one there.
opinions.
Breast milk.
Oh, I'd make up opinions all day for 15 mil a year. I would scream
that's what it
about
is.
everything.
Middle of the road people don't ever make it huge in this
That's
business.
correct. That's right. That is correct. Man, you're spitting knowledge today.
You think of the biggest names out there, the most successful people are all radical in their own.
Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah.
Ned Reynolds. Can you imagine Ned Reynolds yelling?
What would it
Would it
sound
take?
like?
Well, there's no reason to yell. I mean, their guest list is yesterday they had
Johnny Johnson.
They had a brother-sister shot putter on.
This is true?
Yeah.
You're monitoring the guest list of Dan Reynolds?
Well, it comes on
Brother, sister, shot putting?
They have a Facebook page. It said, guest list today. They had a picture of brother and sister shot putters.
Nice.
Wow.
In the Evangel High School baseball
We don't cover
coach.
nearly enough shot putting.
Well, it just shows me that, because for a 2-hour show, they have 4 guests on, which means they can't come up with anything on their own to actually have a conversation between the two of them and have takes. It's always got to be a guest. I never liked that.
Well, are we going to put the Springfield radio station on blast again?
Yep, it's time. They're coming. Guys, is Stephen A. Burwell protege or something? I remember him being the services for Brian, but I can't remember the connection. That's from Brian Henshin. I remember there were a number of national people who were in attendance at Brian Burwell's memorial service, but I honestly don't remember Stephen A. Smith. I'm not saying that he wasn't there. I just don't remember it. That would have been a decade ago now.
Yeah, I don't think they never, unless they, remember Brian used to do that Sunday show.
I believe Bill
With
Roden was
Lupica
there.
and them,
Bill Roden was at the memorial service. Jay Adonde was there. There were members of the Rams who were there, and they had a Thursday night game or a Monday night game that night, I remember. But I don't. But that's not to say Stephen A. Smith wasn't there. I might have forgotten about it.
I don't know if they work together or not. The only thing I can think of is that round table they did on Sunday, that maybe he was part of that round table with Brian.
Is Strode really critiquing how someone might have improperly phrased a sentence? The guy who used the word microbioticism last week. That's from Dogtown Astro.
Well, just because I can't talk doesn't mean I can't comment on somebody else that I thought used the wrong word. It's like a guy who's never played baseball before. He's not allowed to talk baseball.
Yeah.
Tim, my runner-up speech for Texture of the Year at the End of the Year Awards was about some skank eating my ass. I can send it in if you guys want to read it. Thanks. That's from the recovering alcoholic from Belleville and Webster.
It's a daily occurrence for you.
Gosh, that's rough.
Guys, why do these hot take Smith non sequiturs surprise you? Ken can be talking Cardinal baseball for 5 or less seconds and then have on-air strokes that word vomit about Paola Ditch Carp, his Brentwood days with the plug uglies and newsies, or the latest Britney Spears playing with her boobs on Instagram posts. That's from Carlos Spicy Wiener.
The show is just a stream of consciousness. Just something pops in your head, you mention it.
Sure, why not?
There's no structure.
Yeah. There is some forgetting going on here.
Doug, we can't forget this. We got a new sponsor on the Ryan Kelly Morning After.
Who's that?
We welcome to the program the St. Louis Hair Restoration Network. Welcome aboard, friends.
Let's go.
Doug, what do you have to say?
Well,
Jackson, what do you have to say?
Jackson and I are going to do this together.
What?
It's the best hair restoration place in town, bar none, not even close. The best professionals out there, the best doctors working, St. Louis Hair Restoration. And they came to us and said, hey, would you like to try the product? And we said, what do you mean by that? Said, would you like to maybe fix the front of your hair with a little hair transplant? I thought for a moment. I said, well, sure, I'll do that. I missed the front half of my hair. I'll do that. I've missed the front half of my hair for years, and they're going to show us how it's done. And so he said, sure, we'll do it. And they're going to help Jackson as well. Dr. Polenga and the founder, Greg Kryling, are both patients of their own product. They're right there at Big Bend and Kirkwood Road. I'm going in here at the end of the month to have a little something
You're
done.
going to get it done?
I've never had work done before.
You're going to look like Quinn.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Jackson, what about you?
Jackson.
No, he went to.
Didn't you guys
Jackson!
I was told you guys are doing this spot together.
Yes, we are.
He went to cut the Jake Paul, Stephen A. Smith thing.
Well, anyway, hair restoration is all they do at St. Louis Hair Restoration. They do it at the highest level. Even the team of technicians they have on staff have an average of 15 years experience. This is all they do there, and they do it better than anyone else. Your initial consultation with Greg and Dr. Polenga is more educational than anything else. I've already had that. Jackson's had that. They truly want you to understand how it works, why it works, and the differences in the techniques that are out there. Their main goal is to guide you in the right direction to make the best decision for yourself. I'm going to have what's called the FUE procedure.
FUE.
That's follicle unit extraction. That's just one of a couple different ways you can have a little hair transplant. I understand they take a little piece-by-piece hair out of the side and back of your hair where you have plenty, and then individually they transplant it to the place where you're thin or where you want it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Doug, I can talk about what they're doing with me.
What are they doing with you?
What are they doing with you, Jackson?
Well, so they looked at my hair and they said, at your age, it's best, let's get you on this finasteride for a year. It's the generic form of Promotional.
Yeah.
And let's see how that takes. And after, a year of that, if it's showing good signs, if it's showing you're going to hold the line, maybe we can work with something like that. But let's get you on that for a year. And we're also going to give you this laser cap. And this laser cap, you put it on your head for 6 minutes a night.
Yeah.
It increases the blood flow to your head, which helps with the regrowth of hair. It's super easy, it's very, very helpful, and it's not really invasive. It just feels like you're wearing a regular ball cap. And you just do it for 6 minutes a night, and it really helps.
Yeah, if thinning hair bothers you, and it bothers a lot of people, do something about it. There's a place right here in town that some of the best you'll find anywhere in the country. St. Louis Hair Restoration. You don't have to be bald anymore. You don't have to be thinning. Make you feel better about yourself, better in social situations, whatever. You just want to look better. Jackson and I are going to look like Quinn Snyder and Fabio here in another.
Doug, you want a little tagline? You want a tagline?
Yeah, let's get a tagline.
You got a tagline?
You want hair, but life's not fair. Send your head on vacation. Choose St. Louis Hair Restoration.
Wow, that is so good. Gosh, is that good?
Yeah.
I'm just going to be repeating that over and over when I have my little procedure later this month. And you can kind of see, we're going to track it. You can see how much it helps.
Nice.
Now, it takes a while. It's not something that happens overnight.
So what, like 3 weeks?
It's not even 3 weeks. 3 months maybe.
3
you
months?
start to see, 3 to,
That's
I think
good,
6
though,
to 8
because
months.
it goes gradually. It doesn't, you just show up one day and you just got a big puff of hair.
Then people would assume
Doesn't
you
work that
probably
way.
are wearing a device.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's going to be your real hair.
Yeah, your real hair. It comes from the side and the back of your hair, and they
The
just,
donor
they just
areas.
move it. Yes, the donor areas.
I'm looking forward to seeing you coming into work and having to get the hair out of your eyes.
Well, I don't think it'll ever be that long.
Flip it.
No, it won't ever be that long.
Doug, the Angel of the Morning After writes, Doug is getting what MGK had done.
MGK.
Is that Machine Gun Kelly, Jackson?
Yep.
And he had a procedure?
Not that I'm aware of, but maybe.
Oh, there's thousands of people that have had it done.
Oh, yeah.
Thousands.
I mean, how come you don't see many bald people in
Yeah.
Hollywood? Because they got it done.
Right. Usually they don't talk about it. They
Right,
do it
absolutely.
in privacy.
Yeah,
but
that's
I don't
not
care.
that big of a deal. Yeah, exactly. Good for you.
Careless. Yeah.
Good for both of you.
Yeah.
We'll take some
proud of you
before after
guys.
pictures.
Oh, my God.
I'm really proud of you guys
Well, why would you be proud?
for taking that next step.
Oh.
And these guys are really quality people, and they know what they're talking about. So
Yeah.
exactly who I would go to.
Yeah.
Exactly who I am going to.
We've been and talked to them a couple times. They answer all your questions and give you a detailed rundown on what you need to do and what to expect. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. St. Louis Hair Restoration.com.
This is out. So when are you getting the procedure done, yo?
Right at the end of June.
Which is perfect because we have a little break.
Yeah.
Because of 4th of July.
Yeah, so the timing worked out perfect.
Nice. Wow. So, Jackson, you won't be getting a procedure. You're just going to be on the finasteride.
Yeah, they want to see how it all, if it takes and everything's good. And then they said, after about a year, that'll be a good sample size to see if I'm ready to do something. I'd be very much interested in doing something like that.
Do they offer a cut and color? Me and my Lime friends are in the market. That's from Arbor Day.
Probably would. It's not their specialty, but they'd probably do that if you asked nicely.
Not a salon.
After you're done, though, you may need a cut and color because
right.
you'll have long hair.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'll send you to Oreen.
Do they do shrub work, boy? That's from Wolf Boy.
Can they take the shrubs and put them on your hair?
That's not where this is going to go. No.
And honestly, that wouldn't look good either because it's much more curly.
Oh, for
it just
heaven's
look
sake.
weird with curly front hair.
No, we're not talking about any of that. No.
Nonetheless, I think you guys are going to look good.
I can't wait to see it, Plowhawk.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, there's some people just have a little bald spot in the back, and that's really easy for them. If you're missing a lot of your hair, then of course it takes more time and possibly more than one procedure.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in the middle where they said I was like the perfect candidate to have just one time and fill in a little in front. That's about what I need.
Nice.
But Jackson's got a lot more years to live, so there's a lot more could happen to his head of hair between now and the time he's an old man. So he's going to be probably a little trickier to deal with. That's why they're starting him in a different way than they do me.
Jackson, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. And these guys are experts, so I yield to them, and this is what they thought. And I've been meaning to get on it for a while, and they just helped me. They guided me through it, so it's great. And I hope that my hair does take, so I can get a procedure.
Jackson's going to be the most eligible bachelor in St. Louis here pretty soon.
You talk about Joe Burrow swagger.
Getting his hair done. He got a cut the other day that looked good. He's losing weight, looking good.
What's the weight situation?
Same as about what I was at the Dotem. About $183, so that's 19 pounds.
Look at that.
19, that's good.
Yeah. Eating less and moving more.
Yeah, that's the key.
Feeling better too. That's the main thing. It's just you feel better every day.
I think it's mostly just eating. We eat so much junk.
Right.
And you think, just one more donut. Just one more Big Mac. It won't hurt. And it adds up, and it does. It makes it
Today you'll be saying, because you got 7 pieces of salmon in there, buddy.
Oh, I do.
You'll be saying, one more piece of salmon.
Oh.
One more piece of salmon.
Salmon's good lean protein, though.
Yeah, salmon.
Well, there's 7 pieces in there. You can split it up.
That sounds like lunch.
Give Jackson a piece.
I don't do fish, unfortunately. My weight loss journey would be a lot easier if I did. I'll tell you that much.
Gosh, I love salmon.
Salmon and tuna are really good lean proteins.
Think about that. Think about how good those proteins
What's
are.
it called in there? Omega?
Omega-3.
Omega-3.
A lot of omega-3 in this Copper River salmon.
Copper River. Now, where is that?
Alaska.
Think about that.
This is the most famous river in the world for catching salmon.
Is that where all the bears go? I see video of grizzly bears up there snatching salmon out of the streams.
Yeah, but you know how
Copper River?
Could be. You know how salmon is kind of fishy? That's one of the fishier smells of fish is salmon. But Copper River, no, because of what they eat, what the salmon eat.
What are they eating?
It's just a different diet in the Copper River.
What are they eating?
I don't know. It's a different. It's different food in there.
They're probably eating worms and minnows.
No, it's a very buttery, not so fishy taste.
Oh gosh,
you'll enjoy it.
I'm sure I will. Thank you.
Wow.
Salmon and a better hairline. What more could I ask?
Well, you can have some too, Paul. There's 7 pieces in there. You can mix them in with your donuts.
I had some pork chops, au gratin potatoes I made myself last night, Doug.
Cut it out.
Things are happening on this show now. Things are starting to happen on this show.
You made pork chops all by yourself?
I mean, I just olive oil, little thyme, and oregano with some garlic salt and pepper, and that's it.
Parsley, sage,
Let me tell you what.
rosemary,
Next time you do
and
pork chops, marinate them in grape juice all day.
Grape juice?
Ooh, I'm down for that because it was too late, and I don't like mine just super saucy on the grill because like the sauce burns and So I went dry rub style. And
For the few short weeks that I worked at Schneidhorst, the cook gave me a pork chop when this is the best pork chop I ever had. He goes, I marinate them in grape juice all day.
Oh, he whispered it like that too.
Like Welch's grape juice? Just anything off the shelf?
Just
sultry.
Put it in a bag or whatever you want to do, fill it with grape juice, and put your pork chops in there and marinate them all afternoon.
Huh. Well, I'd never heard of that.
I'll try it.
Okay.
I would try by going to Design Air Heating and Cooling, Doug, because we got temperatures in the 90s, brother.
Yeah.
DesignAirService.com. Mr. Smith sent me an email yesterday. His air conditioning went out and contacted Design Air Heating and Cooling. And they were out there quick, fast, in a hurry. They are the official HVAC provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast. Jackson, what is the title of yesterday's QFTA again?
Based on the Cabana and Rascal tax.
Yeah, I thought I saw Nelly on a Rascal with a mask in Las Vegas this past weekend. But I'm like, there's no way. And then it turns out he was with Ashanti. You remember Ashanti and Nelly were together in 2007?
Don't remember that. Certainly don't know the years.
And I think they may be back together. And so his way of hiding out was to drive around on a Rascal with a mask, like for COVID. And, yeah, I saw Nelly. Because you would usually see somebody on a Rascal who's not, in their 40s and in good shape, usually. But that's what I saw Nelly.
Did you?
Yeah, and then when we were talking about the Cabana.
Yeah, the price of a Cabana for a day in Vegas.
Oh, my God.
How much is it now?
What do you think a Cabana was last weekend at the Palazzo Hotel, the adjoining tower, or the sister tower, perhaps, of the Venetian?
How long do you have it for the day? Afternoon?
I would have gotten it at around 11:30 and probably stayed it until about 5.
$3,000.
Is it an hourly rate?
I guess it was just a day rate. I don't know, because I went and asked.
1,000?
Plowhawk, you want to fire a bet at the pot?
$790.
Wow, very specific. I like that. The answer, $1,500. and for the record, I declined.
Yeah, just so you have an umbrella over your head.
Or a place to sit.
And then I said, what about this chair over here? And they go, each chair is $100.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Dude,
Can you bring your own?
You're staying in the hotel, paying for the hotel, and you got to pay to sit?
That's right.
What if you don't want to sit? Can you just meander about?
You could meander about.
You can sit on the edge of the pool?
A lot of folks in the pool, as you might expect, on Memorial Day weekend.
So they don't have to pay to sit.
Perhaps that's the reason.
Any topless girls?
Oh.
I'm sure there were, but not where we were.
So what did you do if you didn't pay to sit?
There were some sections that were not pay to sit. But the prime son, I guess that's the reason why they do it.
For heavens, the
well,
prime son.
when you're a mick like me, if anything, you want to hide out under a tree. So
you were in the shadow of a building, or
but
something?
my Italian American wife, all due respect to the Italian community, wonderful people. She puts oil on, whereas I'm putting the 30 block on.
Oh, yeah.
So she wants the prime son.
Yeah.
I would just pony up right behind the pod plant.
Clip that off.
Get the shade and be able to,
get cocked.
Bingo.
Well, you have to be a disappointment to her that you can't have prime son.
Oh, I think there's a lot of reasons I'm a disappointment to her. I don't know if that's top 3, honestly.
We got a Cabana in Jamaica.
The Rascal is the main transportation of the fan page. Thank you. That's from the Angel the morning after. Is that true?
I'm not sure I even know exactly what the Rascal is.
Oh, it's
is that
like
a scooter?
Grocery store, the scooter with the little basket in front.
Oh, where you sit down
That's
on
what
it?
I saw Nelly on.
Isn't that for handicapped people?
Or people just trying to dodge attention. Yep.
Or, yeah, I guess that's true.
It's for mostly for the sads and the fads, right?
I'm gonna say that, but I didn't want to actually say it. So
well,
I'm glad
that's what
you
it
said
is.
It's never for any old person. It's always for somebody who, and you could tell those little wheels, if they could talk. I mean, they're literally
the tails
the
they would
wheels
tell.
on a Rascal could talk.
They're screaming. You hear it just barely moving with that poor cart.
Well, you could see it'd be a great benefit if you had trouble walking or something to a grocery store. It'd be a great tool to have.
Correct. People always take advantage of it. Oh, my cankles hurt.
Walmart is heavily laden with Rascals, aren't they?
Broken ones, probably. I bet you their repair unit makes bank.
Oh,
repair unit. Rascal repair unit.
Well, either way, it's Design Air Heating and Cooling online at designairservice.com. The wonderful Seth Goldcamp and his staff are going to be busy this weekend. It is going to be hot. I am off tomorrow, Doug. Jackson will be, I guess, point manning. Is KG and O-Town coming in?
Believe so.
Oh,
Nice.
that.
We're going to have fun again. We're just going to say what comes to our head.
the good
What did you
times
talk
roll.
about when I was out last Friday?
Oh, I forgot.
Mostly you being out. The fact that it was a cover for the fact that you really were suspended for your take
For
on
the St. Margaret of Scotland?
Yeah, the Margaret of Scotland, yeah.
We
more like a
dragged
pepper
out.
and it was more like a pepper and genie
Doug, you got to be a part of Pepper and
Yeah.
Genie.
It's 3 hours of Pepper and Genie.
Typically, we take topics that would be normally 8 minutes and turn them into about 30.
Yeah, it's just talk until they're dead.
Tim, on yesterday's Best Of, I couldn't help but laugh out loud when Pepper and Jeannie tried to one-up each other on their milk intake. It was back and forth, but I think Jeannie prevailed when he proclaimed he drinks 2 gallons of milk a week.
Oh.
The content we didn't know we needed. Thanks, that's from Scott's Wrinkled Ballsack, but not his wife.
Pepper and Jeannie was on.
You drink 2 gallons of milk a week?
Close to it.
Really?
Pepper and Jeannie was on the Best Of. We cussing that thing.
No. It's like us rehashing what happened on Pepper and Genie, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I love milk.
A topic last week for 15 minutes, you talked about the expiration dates of milk and chickens.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's
you
something
drink
you need to
Have
know.
a rapid fire take of more
2% eggs?
With every meal,
yeah.
that's what you drink instead of water? You drink milk?
Yeah, I drink milk.
Do you really? Wow, how about that?
Like even with a savory dish?
Yeah.
Oh, after I make love.
Clip that off.
Sensual lovemaking. I'll literally, I won't even be dressed. I'll just walk full salute right to the fridge and
drink milk
and just unscrew the cap and just.
Why would you do that?
I'm
Like you won the Indy
talking
500.
every single time. Like
Why?
I just won the Indy 500.
Oh, it's a celebratory thing?
Cover yourself in
I don't know if it's a celebratory. I'll answer that. It is not a celebratory thing. It's
Why would you
always
need that
something
milk?
I've done. Water just can never do. It's like my boy muscles need just a little bit more just to get back
Boy
to the
muscles.
bedroom.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that.
Do I drink a lot of milk?
And you're proud of it. Have we decided right now, is milk good or bad for you? 'Cause
I don't think
things
it's
like
good
this seem
for-
to change yearly.
They cycle on, they cycle
Yeah.
off.
It
I think it
definitely
depends
doesn't-
on the type. Like if you're drinking straight whole milk all day, probably not.
Be pretty fat.
Yeah, a lot of fat in there. But if you're drinking like 1% or skim or like even one of these nut milks,
Ooh, we do the oat milk.
Night milk.
Yeah, almond milk.
almond or
nut
oat,
milk.
or they make peanut and pea milk, right? Then I think that's a little bit better for you. But yeah, if you're just drinking whole milk all day, probably not the best idea.
Definitely a myth about the bones, right?
Well, it's calcium. There's calcium, but there's other ways to get calcium outside
Okay.
of drinking milk.
I forgot the exact way. I knew.
Calcium and vitamin D.
I mean, you
plenty.
can't eat a piece of cake without milk.
I agree, eggs. A baked good without milk is, shoes without laces.
Well, I never drink milk.
How
used to.
How do you eat a brownie with no milk either?
I don't really eat brownies.
Eat cereal?
Not anymore, no.
Wow. What do you have in your cupboard?
Well, in the morning, oatmeal. Oatmeal and blueberries or strawberries usually in the morning.
Granola.
Granola and
Plain
chicken.
granola.
Yeah, plain. Saltines without the salt.
Birdseed. That was your one
Anything
airplane
bland.
snack was a big bag of seeds and nuts.
I was so appalled. I had 4 empty wrappers of just chips, and I see him just eating his birdseed.
Birdseed, but half of it fell on the floor of the airport.
How lucky for Madison. No cuddling or attention after getting banged. Just instead, her fella takes his boner to the fridge to drown himself in milk.
Yeah.
Doug, that's from Tommy Cochran.
I'm not kidding.
Tommy Cochran?
I don't know him.
Some things are exaggerated. That is exactly what happens.
I don't know if there's a better dessert beverage than a big glass of chocolate milk.
I
That's a
agree.
nice play.
Yeah, chocolate milk is
It's a
great.
nice
I love
play.
chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Equal love the strawberry. Make my own strawberry milk, but you can't have too much syrup. It's a light syrup for the strawberry as in compared to the chocolate. But man,
Prairie Farms, they get you
Oh.
a good one.
yeah, that is good. Oh,
There used to be
strawberry.
one when I was a kid. I think it was called Hot Shot, where it was just you'd open the can, it's almost like aerosol, and you'd squeeze it in there.
Spray it in?
Yeah. It's called Hot Shot, I think.
That sounds like spray paint.
Gosh.
It's like spray paint.
You're spraying aerosol directly into your
I don't
drink?
know. I just remember the name Hot Shot. Then it was Bosco.
Oh, I remember Bosco.
Nestle
Hot
Quick?
Shot.
I always have some syrup in my house just for like ice cream. And if I do chocolate milk, I just use this Hershey syrup.
Okay, I actually found it.
What'd you find?
Does it look like a guy?
What'd you
is
find?
it Big Shot? Or
Maybe
is
it was Big Shot. It was something Shot.
Yeah, it looks like Big Shot maybe. Is like the spray.
My grandma always had that.
Oh, there he is. Yeah. I remember him. Yeah.
Big Shot.
I remember that. Yeah.
That guy, I bet you that's a collector.
I don't think that's on the market anymore.
No, that's long gone.
Maggie O'Brien's is not long gone. As a matter of fact, Doug, it's freshly renovated. Local historic Irish pub for over 40 years in the St. Louis area. The great Eddie McVeigh. Is there anybody better? No. He might be my number one seed in the tournament of people. Eddie McVeigh.
Yeah. I miss seeing him.
Family owned and operated. If you're looking for a place to tailgate for the city games, Maggie's has parties in their parking lot from 4 to 7 with DJs, food, and drink, and then you can walk over to the game or head inside and join the party. Free parking and shuttle service. Park for free, and then a $2 shuttle to Cardinal games and just about any concert, and they have the calendar events on their website at Maggie O'Brien's. Live music schedules at both locations in Sunset Hills and in downtown. They do catering for you as well. Pans of wings, Reuben rolls, toasted raviolis, and they have catered for us in the past at our house. It is choice.
Is it?
Maggie O'Brien's. 2 locations, downtown and South County in Sunset Hills, sponsor of our Dotem Night Before Party. The great Eddie McVeigh, the place to go. Local historic Irish pub for over 40 years right on Market Street. Union Station's next to them. And, of course, in Sunset Hills as well. I'm going to ask the sponsor of our 7 o'clock hour, stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com, or you can text or call 314-252-0029. And now you're talking with Jamie Burkhardt, Clayton Patterson, and Peter Mungenast, and the wonderful people at Mungenast St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota. And coming up on July 8th, Iggy's out there selling cars.
Yeah,
wow.
Brother.
Coming out, get an Acura.
There you go.
That's the whole sales pitch?
That's the elevator pitch. That's the elevator pitch.
Are you selling new or used?
Both, I guess.
Both.
It's not till July 8th, so I really don't have all the particulars.
It would really be funny if you go out there and sell about 12 cars in one day.
That would be great.
That would be really good, yeah, for us.
Have like an Iggy
Jamie.
wing of the
I'd be a salesperson of the month.
July 8th, you'll be out at Mungenast St. Louis Acura. That's where you're going to be. There it is.
Selling and signing.
Sponsor of the 7 o'clock hour, and you are going to have glossies to sign.
I think so. I think Jesse said they were in the works, because I'm out.
You think people looking to buy a car are really looking for your glossy or for a nice whip?
I'm pretty sure that people come on and ask me to buy a car or people listen to the show.
You know what you should do, Iggy? And I love the glossy idea, is don't tell them about the glossy. Sign it, and once they buy the vehicle, you just put it in the glove box.
Oh, so it's a
and
surprise
so
for
they
later.
find that treat later, and the manual is right there, and they're just the glossy of Iggy.
Well, I think the picture will get them to buy a car. You can't have a picture unless you buy a car, so they'll go buy a car.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. You want that car, you're going to have to
No, you want this glossy, well, you're going to have to buy a car, and then I may sign it for you.
That is July 8th at Mungenast St. Louis Acura, the official automotive provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast, presenting sponsor of Balloon Party. It's Mungenast St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota. They really are the best. Go online at stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com to see their selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. And even if you didn't get your car from Mungenast, make sure you get your car, your family's car serviced at Mungenast St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota. And get your cars insured with James Carlton at the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. 313 5-star Google reviews for James Carlton and his staff. When you type his name in a search engine, that's what you're going to find. 5-star reviews because the customer service is the best. That's why I am a very happy James Carlton client. For home, for life, for auto, for anything important to you to get insured, go to James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, 314-961-4800, or go online at carltoninsurance.net. He's my guy, and his staff does an incredible job, and he has a big staff to make sure that all of the people who call get taken care of very quickly. Plus, they will text you with updates on ways to save money. It couldn't be more convenient. It's the best, and I'm so happy I am a client of James and his staff at the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency in Webster Groves, 314-961-4800. Go online at carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton State Farm. Doug, on the other side of this commercial break, big news in the Take Smith industry as a Take Smith is leaving the industry.
Oh, no.
Speaking of Take Smiths, Mike Francesa was asked about succession and then began to tell a story about James Gandolfini.
And it's a good one.
He was in that show, wasn't he?
Who's the Take Smith leaving?
Oh, you can't.
You're going to have to wait.
Yeah,
okay.
And we got the Stephen A. Smith, Jake Paul.
We do have that?
Salad
Jackson?
tossing.
Yeah. Nice. I mean, oh, my God, what a great tease here. We got everything coming up on the other side of the break. It's coming up in the appliance discounters. 8 o'clock hour that closes out the Mungenast St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
The Tim McKernan Show podcast, featuring long-form interviews with people from the world of sports, politics, and entertainment.
And our guest today, Bill McClellan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure, Tim.
What's up, Caden?
Hi, how are you?
Joe Buck, our guest today.
Man, it's like I haven't seen you in years.
More than 500 episodes and counting, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, including the TMA STL app. Get the app now at tmastl.com. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Strode. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at tmastl.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
Mortgage interest rates have started to drop, and that's great news. The difference between a rate in the 7s and a rate in the 5s could save you hundreds of dollars a month. But if you've been wanting to buy a new home, you need to act fast. And with inventory already near record lows, home prices will start to rise again. Don't miss out on your chance to get a lower interest rate and an affordable purchase price on the home of your dreams. Get pre-approved today by visiting thehomeloanexpert.com. Home with a 10-day closing guarantee. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
TMA wants to send you to Evolution Festival, a new elevated music festival experience coming to Forest Park August 26th and 27th, featuring the Black Keys and the Black Crows, plus Brandy Carlisle and Harper and the Innocent Criminals, Brittany Howard, Ice Cube, Morgan Wade, and more. This is our town. This is our time. This is our evolution. Tickets for this elevated bourbon and barbecue experience over 2 days in Forest Park are on sale now, but you can win your way in on the TMA app. If you don't have it, find out how to get it at tmastl.com.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Watch TMA on YouTube. Click the bell to subscribe. Download the podcast. Find it at tmastl.com or wherever you podcast. And check us out on TikTok at TMASTL.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Hey, it's Jackson from Mark Hanna. TMA listeners have a lot to think through financially. Saving for retirement and college while also paying bills and enjoying life along the way. Whether you're like me and starting your financial planning, or if you're already retired, call Mark Hanna. Mark works with you to design a strategy to do your finances right. It's a straightforward approach that starts with a 15-minute phone call to discuss your needs. Visit evergreenstl.com or give Mark a call at 314-889-0503 today. Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors and insurance and annuity products through Equitable Network, LLC.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the 2023 TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to tmastl.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you, or fake you, or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan of TMA, and we are thrilled to have another new sponsor on board the show. A couple of guys I have gotten to know. Longo Biggs Injury Law, Doug Biggs and C.D. Longo here with me. And C.D., one of the things that I want our audience to know is this. When people get injured in an accident, they don't necessarily know what to do, and that's where you guys come into play.
Yeah. Tim, it can be a very confusing process. If you get hurt in a car accident or injured some other way, people do not know what to do. They don't even know how to start a claim. We're going to take the hassle out of your hands and make the entire process very easy. Injury cases are potentially worth a lot of money. We're going to make sure you get every dollar you deserve. We're very excited to be part of the TMA family. We're hoping to have a lot of fun with this. If you are a loved one, do get injured, please remember us at Longo Biggs Injury Law. You can visit our website at longobiggs.com, and that is Biggs with 2 G's.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hey, St. Louis, Eddie McVeigh here from Maggie O'Brien's. When you head downtown for a concert or cards or blues game, and now for the St. Louis City soccer game, please come see us at Maggie O'Brien's before and after your event. Take our shuttle to and from, or stay in-house and watch your favorite team on our multiple high-def TVs. We look forward to seeing you soon at one of our 2 locations in Sunset Hills on South Lindbergh or downtown at the corner of Market and 20th Street. Union Station is next to us.
That ball is gone! Blow off work and join the morning after at Busch Stadium on Wednesday, June 14th, when the Cardinals take on the Giants for a day game. Get field tickets for $30, which includes $12 in cards cash. Maybe use it to buy helmet nachos? You'll sit with other TMA listeners, too. Before the game, head over to Salt and Smoke at Ballpark Village for a pre-game live TMA broadcast from 7-ish to 10 with a special breakfast and drink menu from Salt and Smoke. Not to completely overload you with information, but here goes. Head to the TMA STL shop to get your best fans and baseball shirt for our big day at a big discount. Use the code CARDS to get the shirt for only $20. Plus, all shirts will ship to Hubbard, and you'll pick them up at Salt and Smoke the morning of the game. Find out more about all this stuff at TMASTL.com.
I spent 4 years in San Francisco.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPN-TFM HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Well, we're back, Doug.
Oh, I can't hear anything.
What's going on?
First of the month.
I couldn't hear a darn thing.
Well, I didn't know. It said,
Wake
it
up,
said
wake up.
clean, but I didn't know if it was going to be clean or not.
You thought they were going to start dropping some F-bombs?
Yeah,
it seems
it
clean
sounded
now.
that way, so I wanted to make sure. I dumped it just in case.
Okay, yeah, you should have. I didn't hear a darn thing.
It's a great
Mark Hanna
tune.
might have heard it. He's on the line, Doug.
He hears
Oh, is he?
everything. Yeah.
It's the first of the month.
Well, there he is. Hello, Hansy. Hello, Hansy.
Yes, Doug.
Okay, there he is. All right, he's here now. We were just trying to hit the right buttons, that's all.
Well, I got the right buttons.
Okay. So, how are you doing?
Good. It is officially, it's not officially, the seasons dictate, but it's officially summertime in my world.
Nice.
Yes.
There it is.
Yeah,
Doug says
time
it's
to think about
summertime, therefore it's summertime, Mark.
Right.
Sweet summertime.
Start of meteorological summer today, June 1st. Mm-hmm. What sure is, and it's summertime for all of your clients because they just can't help it to make bundles of cash.
Nice.
Live in the sunshine. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. Have a good financial plan. I like this. And then become evergreen. That's the way this works.
Right.
That ties in because that's the name of the company, Evergreen.
Evergreen Wealth Strategy.
Yes.
That's it. I work with him. Jackson works with him. Plowsy, are you there too?
Prod Joe.
Prod Joe.
Prod Joe. Old money.
Prod Joe's old money?
Oh, yeah.
All of us are old money.
Yeah, I guess
kidding
you're
me?
right. I guess you're right about
Do you
that.
deal only with old money customers?
Everyday people, Doug. Everyday people every day. That's also part of what we've workshopped to put together as part of these reads. Everyday people every day.
I like that.
Name of the game.
314-889-0503 is Mark's number, or you can go online at evergreenstl.com. That's Mark Hanna with Evergreen Wealth Strategies. You have people asking you about fears of recession. Do you get those questions, Mark?
I was actually seriously reflecting on this earlier today.
How about that?
How there are always fears that people are talking about. I read it once, and I like to describe it as the apocalypse du jour. It could be fear of a recession, fear of currency changes, the dollar losing its reserve status. It could be fear of the U.S. default. And I've been doing this a long time. I've heard fears time and again, and fear is the one thing that never changes. It's always going to be something new because that's what we read. That's what the financial journalists put forth. fear is always going to be out there, and recession is yet another. What I focus on is trying to tie together each individual client's position about where they are, what they're trying to achieve, and making sure that the short-term fears that are going to come and go don't derail the plan that we put together, and sticking to that plan and knowing that the plan, when it comes to dealing with cash flow and liquidity and investments and taxes and legal issues and insurance, that all of those elements of that plan are put together in a way to be able to weather that short-term storm, because there will inevitably be another one and another one and another one. So, yeah, there are fears. There are fears of recession. There always will be. This too shall pass. It's going to come and go. And a big part of it is focus on how can we get through those fears.
That's smart play. Long term, that's what you got to be thinking. 314-889-0503 or go online at evergreenstl.com. Thank you, Mark.
All right, thank you, Hansy. I don't know what that sound was there. Did we get a Gary Pinkel?
He pinkled us, yeah.
Slam down the phone?
Mark and Evergreen Wealth Strategies.
The worst part about a cell phone, you can't slam it down anymore. It used to be if you were really angry, you could slam that receiver
Yeah, but
down.
that click off a cell phone
Click.
when you hang up.
Boy, I wasn't able to ask Mark this one from Scissor Me Timbers. To stay ahead of the game, should I take a loan out of my 401k to put a nice taste on VGK in the heat and a parlay? Huh.
I wouldn't suggest it, no.
That's actually a really good idea.
I agree with you, Plowhawk. A lot of financial advisors would probably steer you in that direction.
To gut your 401k and bet on hockey?
Well, I was told way back that, somebody I knew had $50K in their 401k and was about to retire. So.
Yeah, that's about all you need. It's about all you need. Especially when you see every house on the market is now $800,000.
Dude, it's insane. We were looking actually we peruse a lot. And there's one in our area that's decrepit, but you could tell it's still owned, but nobody got in the mail, the yard, and it's a beautiful house. We're waiting for that one to go up. But it will be, like you said, ridiculous.
It'll be about twice what you think it should be.
And it needs twice as much work as what.
You just got to get in, I guess. You just got to get in the game at some point and then let your own house appreciate like all the others.
Hey, we deep teased all kinds of audio clips here. Jackson, what do we have? You got the Stephen A. Smith, Jake Paul eating ass?
Oh, we got that.
gosh.
We got Francesa.
So much.
Yeah, we're really working with
All right, Plowhawk, you call the shots.
All right, we're going to do a horny Stephen A. again.
All right, here you go, Doug.
I remember playing that. We did play this one, correct?
We might have.
Ooh, I see a bleep in there. Then
No.
It's gonna be good.
Do you,
Okay.
Stephen A., eat ass?
Oh.
No.
You don't eat ass. That's an honest answer.
I don't
no?
have. No, that's
You've
a
never
God's honest answer. Never. I don't have to.
Never. Have you gotten your ass eaten?
Never. That's private.
Oh!
That's private. Hey, that's private.
I have nothing else to say. I have nothing else to say. Let's go!
Who was the interview? Was that Barbara Walters doing
I know.
it?
What was that?
It sounded more like Christiane Amanpour to me, didn't it?
The CNN veteran reporter?
Foreign correspondent.
I'm leaving
changed
Iraq
their
now.
style.
I'm leaving Iraq now to go interview Stephen A.
think it
Smith
was-
about ass eating.
Kitty correct.
Oh,
Jackson, who was conducting the interview?
who was that? Would ask such a horrific question.
I'm trying to find out who is.
Was it Taylor?
Who's Taylor?
Taylor Swift?
Last name Taylor.
Did you see somewhere they're selling now empty bags, sandwich bags of air that were taken at Taylor Swift concerts?
Oh,
Taylor was
dude.
actually here, and here's some of the air that was.
It's actually a
around her.
cult. Have you seen Twitter and everything? That it's an absolute cult.
It's really bizarre,
it's
isn't
bizarre. There are fans that wait outside her apartment to see what guy walks in there to see who she's dating.
What is
It's
she doing that's so
psychotic.
much different than some of the other pop stars? What
She's got
makes her
hits.
so great?
Jackson says she's got hits.
She's got hits.
Yeah, she became popular with the 12 and 13-year-olds, like when she first, and those still carry. So those adults.
That's
now act like
actually,
the
I
12
think, a
and
nice
13-year-olds.
observation,
Yeah,
Plow.
Plow's not
She
wrong.
caught it perfectly. I mean, she
My
has-
little sister, who's younger than me, yet much younger than me, otherwise it would be odd if I said my little sister, but she's much younger than me, and I recall her going, probably, God, I don't even know, 10, 12, maybe even longer. What is Taylor Swift, Jackson? She's 30?
I'll take the over on that, but not by much. Because, I mean, Kanye took the award from her like
Yeah,
10
that
or
was
12 years ago.
2009.
Yeah.
God, you're right.
Taylor Swift is, I'm going to guess 32.
I'll say 34.
She's 33.
Okay.
Nobody wins. It's a shame. I guess Jackson does because you overbid, though.
I was going to say 33.
Couldn't be sorry.
He was going to say 33. Should we give it to her?
I was going to go in between you two guys.
But I recall her going to a concert a long time ago, and she had this little thing in the back called Taylor's Tea Party. And, for girls in their, 12, 13 years old, to be able to meet her at that point, huge deal. And as the Plowhawk makes the observation, they grow up with her. Now, I don't think that was the strategy, but that's what's wound up happening. And also, she's not going to be in a spot where she's going to rehab or something like that because she's messing around with take your pick of whatever. So she's going to, and she's just obsessed, career-driven, and going to keep,
She'll be like Rihanna. She'll be a billionaire. I don't know what she is. She's got to be already.
I would imagine she's live for that. She had to, do her whole library over again, right?
That I think also endeared herself big time to fans because there was controversy with her discography and her library, and then she released all the Taylor's versions of it. And that really got her fans on.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's getting like almost $1 million a show. This is a stadium tour.
Well, you see the price of tickets. She's got that dynamic pricing that Robert Smith opted out of, so people don't get gouged for prices. But
I just don't see how she's that much different than what's come before. When you talk about Elvis or Michael Jackson, someone else who was that big, they were very unique. They were doing things that no one had seen before.
I'll throw another theory out because I think the Plowhawk already hit one. I think, and I could be wrong, as a father but not of daughters, that I would think for people who want to be able to take their kids to music or introduce them to music, they don't necessarily feel like they have to, quote, worry about Taylor Swift stuff. Now, that wouldn't be where I'm coming from, but I think that, and she was country, so she had that appeal, then crossed over to pop, so she's got that mass appeal, and it's
she's
safe.
certainly the biggest thing going now.
She knows exactly how to tug the heartstrings of females who are going through relationship issues, family drama, like life. Like, she hits all the categories that everybody seems to be going through.
She speaks to the people. That's what Michael Jackson did. That's what Elvis did. They speak to the people, and that's good.
But they were different. They were completely unique from what we had seen before.
I would say she's kind of
She's super influential.
unique.
She's been doing this for almost 20 years.
I don't doubt she's probably the biggest musical star out there.
She's supposed to be a billionaire in 8 years.
Her and Drake, I would say, are probably the two biggest.
Drizzy?
Yeah, only these two could do there's probably more artists who could do something like this, but sell out stadium tours is pretty rare, I feel like.
Gaga could, but she doesn't really sing anymore. She just acts.
Yeah, when was the last Gaga song that not for a movie?
Somebody needs to get paid off. They called the shot. Let's see.
Oh, why wouldn't I? You're talking about popular singers. I mentioned one that I love.
Let's see. I feel like I got to give the person their credit. How long will it take before Ken weaves in Lady Gaga?
It did play.
Why wouldn't I?
I think she used to be at the top of the heap, but probably it's Taylor Swift now.
Yeah, because she hasn't come out with an album since Chromatica.
What was that, 2016 or something?
And now she's just acting. She just got done with the new Joker movie.
Here it is, 314. Talking about Taylor Swift. How long will it take Boots to bring up something about Lady Gaga and derail the conversation? There it is, 314. No
Derail anything. We're talking about popular singers. You can sell out stadiums, and I said Gaga.
It's $5.
See, I'm anti-Taylor Swift, but I understand the popularity, and I
Why
respect.
would you be anti?
I think at one point you said she had no talent.
I think he
Maybe
said she's ruining the music business.
I
That's
think
what he said.
the first take Jackson said, maybe I was wrong on that. The second one I think I'm correct on, because nobody can touch that genre, so she's basically running a monopoly. What I don't like is using her past relationships basically as a new album. And you can say what you want. She does do that. She has about 4 or 5 albums that are strictly dedicated to breakups. And to me, after a while, she goes through the dating cycle of dating almost every celebrity you can name. It just seems like that's a ploy for more album sales. Instead of finding true love, she's looking for another, sold-out concert with a 30, 40 stadium tour. That from the outside looking in.
Isn't it possible that some of the songs are just that? They're just songs that were written, and it's not necessarily autobiographical?
Because I think she dedicates a lot of them to past relationships. Not all, Doug. I assure you, not all of her albums, but
I'd like somebody to come out and who has broken up with her.
she's on her 4th boyfriend of the year, I do believe. I'm just saying, like, if you want to make albums, that's how you do it. That's the
I think there's more to it than that.
I don't think so.
Like, why she can't keep a man? I mean, she's bad in bed. Is she boring?
Is it possible she's got a fantastic crew around her of songwriters and musicians, and they come up with catchy tunes, and they put words to it, and they sell a jillion songs, and it's not necessarily always about her life?
Well, she does surround herself with good people.
She writes a lot of her songs, too.
Yeah.
She has a thorough dating history, but so do a lot of celebrities.
No, I
male
agree.
and female.
That's usually what separates the people that make it big and the people that are singing at a local hotel is you've got to come up with the original songs. You just can't sing somebody else's songs all the time.
That's what I respect, though. She doesn't have a ghostwriter. She does all the work herself.
Well, that's where you make the money, is being a songwriter.
Yeah, if you can own your own masters, it's...
But you got to come up with the original songs. There's a million people out there that can sing. You just watch The Voice or American Idol. You can see there's all kinds of people that can sing every bit as good as the people that are major stars, but you got to come up with the song.
God, they're in like the 18th season of X Factor. There are so many singers out there.
Yeah, there's people that can do it. But coming up with that catchy tune, that's what separates them.
Doug Mike Francesa has also separated himself from the pack. Here he is talking about the conclusion of Succession with James Gandolfini.
Okay, love to hear it.
I watched The Sopranos from the beginning. I got into it right away.
I don't know. I just read the...
I got into it before a lot of other people did, before the bandwagon really grew.
When you started watching it?
This is unreal.
I loved it from the day it was on. I loved Gandolfini. Got to meet him a bunch of times. Doug and I went over and watched him do the show a couple of times.
I mean, that's...
Gandolfini he's not a sports guy. You know, we used to always ask him to come on the show, and he'd go, I'm not going on the show. I can't talk sports. I'm not a sports fan. I root for Rutgers because he went there. But he says, I'm not a sports guy anyway. The only reason I know you guys is, he says, because I listen to you all the time because my driver has you on in the car when I'm driving back and forth. And I got to listen to you guys a lot, and I liked it, so I listened. He said, I get a kick out of it. He said, but that's the only reason. I'm not a sports guy. And he wasn't, but I'd see him at a bunch of different things and everything through the years. And he's a great loss because he was a great, great actor. He really was. But his role of Tony Soprano is one of the iconic roles of all time. I have not watched Succession. I know I'm in the... I can't believe how many people have said to me, you know, I have some friends who are in the business.
You know, Brian Cox.
You haven't watched Succession? I'm like, no. And they want to talk about it. I say, don't tell me, because I want to start it from the beginning. And I haven't watched one episode. Now, it's hard to stay away from, because everybody's always analyzing it, and everybody's always talking about it. And now I know it's ended. So it's gotten a lot of attention. I've tried to stay away from all of that. I really have. But I have not watched it. But everyone says it's that good. Now, if it's Sopranos good, that is saying a lot. See, some of the other series I don't like Game of Thrones, not a chance. I can't watch stuff like that.
Yep.
I don't like scientific stuff. I don't like space stuff. I don't like gory stuff. I don't like... there's no way I'm ever watching Game of Thrones. And in 1,000 years, not a chance. Okay? I don't like those kind of shows. Yeah. Scientific stuff, I don't like. Space stuff, I don't like. Scientific stuff,
scientific or fake, he doesn't like either.
Science fiction, I think is what he was trying to say, right?
Now, couldn't you just tell Gandalf?
Like scientific stuff,
couldn't you just tell Gandolfini, we don't want to bring you on and not talk sports? We're not going to talk sports, talk about acting and Sopranos and other stuff you're doing. We don't need to talk
sports. That's probably
sports.
The excuse he used to not want to go on the show.
And he's probably met him once at a charity event or something.
And when he was at the height of his fame, he probably had an offer to go on a show every single day. And so he just started telling everybody, no, I can't. Give
Francesa credit. He's one of the few guys that started watching it from the beginning.
Yeah, he discovered it.
Apparently.
So,
that's Funhouse, the account that tweets out those videos, posted a thread of James Gandolfini at sporting events. He's like at 3 different Jets games and like a Nets game.
Not a sports fan.
He was outstanding in that role. I don't know of anyone who's any better than a role than he was. And that went for, 4 or 5 years they were doing that.
And then if you watch the movie I think it was called The Last Castle with Robert Redford.
The Last Castle.
It's about a prison. Robert Redford is an Army veteran. I think he was like a 2-star general, and he gets thrown in prison. And Gandolfini, it seems to me that he went out of his way to not be Tony Soprano. He was so timid. Oh, welcome to our prison. We'll try to do the best we can.
Wow, what a voice.
I mean, he went from, Tony Soprano to just the opposite, just kind of like Miley Cyrus when she got done with Hannah Montana. She started getting naked.
Doug, did you notice that with Miley Cyrus?
Yes, I did, in fact.
She went and got naked all the time.
Mhm.
Wrecking Ball, was that where she was naked on a ball?
I believe so.
She got naked when Terry Richardson photographed her.
Who the hell's Terry Richardson?
Wrecking Ball is a banger.
He's a well-known photographer. He did Lady Gaga's Born This Way tour book. But everybody wanted to be photographed by him.
Have you been photographed?
Until it
by
came
him?
out that he's kind of like in the Me Too thing where he was kind of abusing all these girls.
Oh, great.
Allegedly.
Nice weave.
Very nice
But
weave.
it just, if you watch Last Castle, it's a pretty good movie, actually. But Tony Soprano just, James Gandolfini went the opposite of Tony Soprano. It was like he was a simp.
Well, he was
I don't-
acting.
I don't like scientific stuff.
Yeah, Game of Thrones is really scientific.
Pretty damn good. This might be one of his.
Well, it took me a while to watch it because I said, I don't watch movies with dragons and demons, and I don't like that kind of science fiction stuff.
Jackson has officially updated his Mount Rushmore, Doug.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, of course, is the owner and proprietor of goodorbad.com. So his Mount
He knows.
Rushmore has
Yeah.
credibility. Jackson, your updated Mount Rushmore.
Sopranos, The Wire, Breaking Bad, and welcome to the club, Succession.
Wow! And who did Succession replace?
Mad Men, I guess. Yeah, the fourth spot wasn't convincing. Like nothing. The first three are so good that like something like Succession needed to happen because I think it's on par with the three shows I named before.
Huh.
There's a Mount Rushmore.
Band of Brothers didn't get on there.
It's kind of a limited series. I mean, I guess Succession's only 4 seasons, but it's like almost 40 episodes. Because Band of Brothers was only 2 seasons, right?
I think it was 20 episodes.
I don't even
maybe?
think it was a season. It was just like a...
Yeah, it's
No,
a
it's a couple
limited
seasons.
series, so it's
Yeah.
kind of tough. And like obviously, like I love Curb and Seinfeld, but I'm talking like about like prestige TV dramas essentially. Even though like Soprano, all 4 of those shows are kind of funny, especially Succession. But yeah, those are my 4. 3 of those are HBO shows.
It was a Brian Cox collage I saw on either Twitter or Instagram. Just all the times he said, F off.
Probably about 800.
I would have put Deadwood in there, but it was only 3 seasons, and I didn't like the way it ended because...
Doug, would you put Deadwood in the
I haven't seen
It was
it.
supposed to be 2 more seasons. That's why it ended like, no finality because they thought they had 2 more seasons to go, and then they canceled it after 3.
I haven't seen most of these shows.
Rarely do the great shows get canceled.
It's just money. HBO has a tendency to Rome. Another one only went 2 years, and they canceled that because it was costing too much money to make it.
Yeah, if it doesn't bump, HBO is not really looking to extend it. It's got to really hit the masses. But I mean, their track record is proof that it works because, like, if you named like the top 10 TV shows of all time, I bet half of them are HBO shows. Because The Wire, Sopranos, and Succession at least would be on there. A couple more probably.
At least they did a Deadwood movie to kind of tie it all up.
It does seem like there's better stuff on TV than there is at the movie theaters. these days.
Because you can get more in depth, you can create more characters. It's better. It's a better
Just the subject
medium at
matter
the moment.
to me is more interesting. I saw like the top 4, the top 5 movies right now are all comic book superhero type stuff.
If you can't put them in a cape and you can't make sequels, it doesn't make the big screen.
Yeah, I'm just not interested in that.
I always wonder why, and Jackson may know this because he's follows his stuff. A TV show, which, is an hour-long show. Let's just say it's an hour-long episode. Just take Sopranos, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
It's an hour episode.
Sure.
They can knock out, 2 or 3 episodes in a week.
Who can? You think they can make 2 or 3 in a week?
2 or 3 episodes?
No way.
No way. Maybe 1 episode every 2 weeks.
Bill.
Because I mean, like I've listened to podcasts and stuff, and like so a page is about a minute of the show, 1 page of the script, depending on how dense the dialogue is.
Yeah.
And like an 8-page day is a really long day. So that's 8 minutes of an hour-long show.
Yeah. You're talking soap operas, Ziggy, where they can crank them out.
Yeah, soap operas, yes, they can, but that's because they don't necessarily do a bunch of takes.
Yeah.
TV shows, especially now, where they're filmed with budgets and cameras like movies. Like Game of Thrones is a movie, an hour-long movie every week. They take their time. Big budgets.
But my question was, it doesn't take as long to do an hour episode of a couple of episodes. There should be 2 hours, but some movies that are an hour and a half take 7 months to make.
I mean,
Why is
TV
that?
shows can be filming for a really long time. Really long time.
Guess it depends on the move, where you're going. If you got to pick up and go to different locations in different cities or countries.
That's if it's like a more of like if it was a courtroom drama where you're really only in 2 or 3 locations, that's one thing. But like Game of Thrones, who's all across the world doing these intricate shots, yeah, it takes a while.
I think in the end, Handmaid's Tale might take my number one spot.
Yeah, I got through 2 episodes of that thing. And
Well, what's your Mount Rushmore? Handmaid's Tale's number 1 on your Mount Rushmore?
It's not yet, but it still has a final season to go, which I think comes out in November. But it's certainly Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad.
Don't give us.
I'm gonna
I like
put,
that. I like that. I like that because you know he's in the tank. You know he's in the tank. You can't watch.
Handmaid's Tale, Mad Men, with The Wire having a nod there at the 5 spot. Handmaid's Tale don't play.
It don't play at all.
Love it.
I'm waiting until season 8, but I'm very close to putting Outlander in my top 4.
What? That would be a...
How about that telenovela you watched for a year and a half or so?
And now it's a new season. They brought it back. And
What was that called again?
Senor Cialis.
Senor Cialis, that's right. They still shoot
Lord
everything
of the
on... Are they shooting much on film, or is it all videotape?
Succession's all film.
It is?
Mm-hmm. Tarantino only shoots in 35 millimeter film
I don't
well.
get that, because you can make video look like film.
No, I'm sorry. I should have made that distinction. Jesse Armstrong makes Succession, and they shoot on film, but Tarantino also only uses film. And then, like, other people use a combination, but I don't know. They like the style better.
Yeah. With all the filters and editing tricks you can do, you can make video look like film.
Sure.
Yeah, it's harder for the editor.
A fraction of the price.
Wouldn't the editor have more work if it's on film? Don't you have to splice all that stuff?
Yes. Be much more work.
Some people like to do it old school. I mean, Succession looks incredible. Like, when you look at it, when you watch it, you're like, wow, this looks unbelievable. I don't know if they could achieve the same thing on digital.
I worked with film in my early days at TV News, and God, it was horrendous.
You have to cut it and then put a piece of tape over it.
And then, scrape off the emulsion and then glue it together and then wait 5 seconds. And then, oh, geez, I ripped it in the wrong place. Gone forever. Destroyed forever. Jeez. That was state of the art at the time. You just thought.
Did you have to do that in Miami, or was that Minnesota?
No, that was Minnesota.
Oof.
Yeah, by Miami, everyone was shooting videotape. Once videotape came on, he said, wow, this is...
Did you come down to Miami and say you guys ought to get back to B-roll?
I did not. No. They seem to know that, forget that.
They know about auto accessories with Tommy Sabolka and VIP Auto Accessories. Design, production, installation, that's what they do. VIP gets your fleet vehicles from dealership to street ready fast and personalized for your company's needs. They know that every day your vehicle isn't street ready. It's lost revenue. Fleet vehicles, signage, graphics, and design. VIP does it all in-house. For your business. They are all local since 1979. Once employees start working there, they don't stop. They have people employed for 36, 42, and 43 years, and the company is only 43 years old. VIP is part of the TMA ecosystem. They work with Design Air Heating and Cooling and Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota, among others. It's VIP Auto Accessories. Contact the great Tommy Sabolka and VIP Auto Accessories. Tommy wants you to reach out to him directly, as a matter of fact.
He does?
Yeah, he does. You can call him, and the number to call Tommy is 314-428-3900, or you can email him at tommy.cibulka@VIP Auto Accessories. That's Tommy Sabolka and VIP Auto Accessories. Doug, you know something about Ryan Kelly and the Home Loan Expert?
Right. He's there to help you buy a home. We're getting into the peak home buying season right now. Houses are starting to pop up, but still inventory is very low, so you got to be ready to strike if that house that you want hits the market. If you're thinking of buying a home this year, the process not as complicated as you think with the Home Loan Expert. They make the pre-approval process so very easy. So get pre-approved today, the day you call in, and they will also provide a lower rate with a 10-day closing guarantee. You have to act quickly. Homes are going to start hitting the market, and they are selling very quickly. If you have any questions, give the home loan expert and his team a call. They'll find a solution for you. They've got all kinds of options. Lenders have different rates now, so you got to do some rate shopping. The home loan expert has rates and service that simply cannot be touched. Or if you're looking to refinance, they can take care of you there too. I've refinanced twice with Ryan Kelly. He is the best. The average person now getting money out of a refinance, a cash out refinance, the average person is getting over $54,000 in cash that you can use to pay off credit card interest rates or whatever use you might have of $54,000. Couldn't we all use that? Well, yes, I could.
Yes.
I don't need to refinance right now, but a lot of people do. And this is where you would go. You'd go to the home loan expert, Ryan Kelly, his website, thehomeloanexpert.com. Thank you, Ryan Kelly. Thank you, Sir Mortgage.
Gonna enjoy some barbecue this weekend? Get your barbecue sauce from Andrea's. You can get it at Schnucks, Deerbergs, or Andreas.com. I only have half a bottle left, and my wife just got 3 bottles of that stuff 2 weeks ago.
really?
I'm going through it that quickly. I love it, though.
They're in most of the grocery stores now.
They
aren't
are. Schnucks, Deerbergs, and, of course, Andreas.com. You can go to Andrea's Steakhouse, get Andrea's Steak Sauce. It's Andrea's. Max, Rebecca, and the wonderful people there will take great care of you in our audience. And if you're not going to the steakhouse, make sure you get their steak sauce or their barbecue sauce. It is Andrea's. Phenomenal. Iggy, when's the last time you've been there? I got to get over there. I keep saying it. I got to get over there. That's what I got to do.
I think beginning of spring, me and Chrissy Blake went over there for dinner. Had a nice big primer, or a nice big ribeye.
How was it?
No.
So big that I had lunch and dinner the next day.
It's as big as your head, didn't you say?
Big as my head. Yeah. Big as your head.
Ooh.
Oh, that was the
Everything's
Catalan's
good over
cut.
there. Appetizers or salad, desserts, just a great atmosphere.
I've got like a 7 7/8 size hat.
Is that right? That is large.
It's huge. Big old dome. And you're telling me you had a pork chop the size of my head?
Ribeye.
A ribeye the size of my dome.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't take much to fill me up anyway, but...
Fill him up.
You know, I had like a third of it, and I said, I'm done. I got to take the rest home for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's good. Just slice it up the next day on some nice French bread.
Boy, it'd be great to just need a couple bites of food and say, yeah, that's enough, I'm done.
That's why you have so
really
much
nice.
salmon. I had one piece of salmon last night with some spinach, and I was full.
See, I could have eaten every piece you had there.
Well, that's all in the icebox.
It's in the icebox right there.
Refrigerator. It's no longer an icebox.
Who lies more about their social network? Francesa with celebrities, Iggy with C-list celebrities I've never heard of, or the Amazon delivery guy who calls into your show and acts like he spends his time rubbing elbows with the DeWitts at St. Louis Country Club. Mr. Licks drives an Amazon truck?
Well, that's not a bad job.
No, it's like
We heard him
$25 an
backing
hour.
up, and he got the Chick-fil-A breakfast.
I wouldn't mind a job like that. You're out and about. You
could listen to the show all the time.
Yeah, listen to whatever you wanted to listen to. Yeah, that wouldn't be horrible.
Bro, we order 75-pound bags of dog food, and all our dogs have 3 separate ones. Dude,
He's got to carry that up to you.
they have to carry that, yeah. So I would
70-pound
hold up.
bag? It's like
Yeah.
a bag of cement.
Oh, they're big.
I had a buddy do it for like a seasonal deal.
Yeah, how do you like it?
He said it was, really easy, kind of relaxing. You just got to keep up pace, but as long as you get it done, you can kind of work on your own time. So it wasn't bad at all.
My favorite job as a kid was working for Woodard Rug and Drapery Cleaners, where I would deliver the rugs back to people that brought them in to have them cleaned. They didn't bring them in. We got them and then returned them as a delivery guy. That was like the favorite summer job I had in college.
I used to clean carpets.
That's not as fun.
No. Well, I was like the apprentice.
At Woodard?
No. My mom worked at Woodard, I think. She worked in the office. But I was like the apprentice. There were 2 guys that go to every house. One guy got to clean the carpets.
Yeah.
And I had to walk around with like the brush and get the corners.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And he made all the money because you got to use your own car. So he had his own car. I mean, he was getting like 80% of it, and I got like 20.
Yeah, some of the guys clean like the wall-to-wall carpets that you can't bring in. But I was on a team that went and got the throw rugs and the Oriental rugs. And that was a fun job, just being a delivery guy.
And then I sold windows for Cooper. I was like sitting in an office calling people.
Oh.
Hey, we got a special going on this week in your neighborhood. They say, no, not interested. And I would write down yes. It's like, Iggy got 15 orders today. And those guys would show up. We didn't want it.
Oh, why would you do that to your fellow workers?
Yeah, because we got paid for every order. It lasted about a month, and I figured I was just
Lying.
faking all these things. I got fired.
Gosh.
But there was it was on Brown Boulevard. It was in a house. It was like a two-story house, and the phones are up on the top floor. You go down to the bottom floor. It's like a living room. But I would take a break and go into the other room where they had like coffee and stuff. And there was another house right across the street, like maybe 30 feet away. I mean, these girls had their windows open. There's two girls that make out.
Oh, come on.
First time I saw lesbianism.
No, I don't believe that.
Yeah,
That was Lady Chatterley's lover.
I'd be pouring a cup of coffee and I look over and they're in the living room just making out.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, they weren't naked or anything, but they were just making out. First time I saw lesbianism.
This is why you worked for Cooper Windows.
Yeah, Brown Boulevard.
One could easily argue there are adults who like breasts more than babies.
Doug, we told you that a Takesmith is leaving the take-smithing industry. Shannon Sharp is leaving his partnership with Skip Bayless.
Why would he do
Had
that?
enough.
Sharp and Fox Sports, the parent company of FS1, which airs Undisputed, have reached a buyout agreement, sources have told the New York Post. Sharp's final show is expected to be after the 2023 NBA Finals. His popular podcast, Doug, it's called Club Shay Shay. Do you ever listen to Club Shay?
No, I don't.
Jackson, do you listen to Club Shay Shay?
No, but I'm a big fan of Uncle Shay.
Now, when you say popular, what do you mean by that?
I just read what's in the teleprompter.
You like trying to take a shot?
Yeah, I'd never heard of Club Shay Shay.
Well, to be fair, just because you haven't heard of it doesn't mean it's not popular.
Well, I'm pretty familiar with the popular ones.
Yeah, you're pretty plugged in.
There has been tension between the two over Skip Bayless's tweet about DeMar Hamlin. The tweet was, "No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game, but how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant." Shannon Sharp did not come into work the next morning after that tweet.
Because of that tweet?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
What was so bad about the tweet?
That they shouldn't have canceled a game because the guy died on the field.
He didn't die.
Well, they brought him back to life.
When he returned a day later, he said that he had wished Bayless would take the tweet down, while Bayless said he would not take it down. He stood by it. The two then had a disagreement on whether the FS1 bosses wanted Bayless to offer an explanation for the tweet. At the time, there were a number of armchair observers, including former FS1 host Marcellus Wiley, who predicted the duo were headed for a breakup. And then Sharp said, "I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting me," Sharp said. And this is primal. This is two alphas fighting for territory, Wiley said on Instagram. This is about power, because that dynamic of power on that show has shifted, whether it's real or imagined. Right now, we've all seen that battle for it. Let's see who comes out of Undisputed. Doug, that's Marcellus Wiley's Instagram about Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless.
Well, Sharp looks like
Shannon Sharp, I apologize.
Sharp looks like a nice guy, and Bayless just looks like a pompous ass.
What Skip Bayless talked about and did to Shannon Sharp and poo-pooed his career. Remember that segment, Jackson?
I know.
Yeah, with Tom Brady.
His playing career?
That to me was the end of the relationship.
Shannon seemed legitimately upset.
Yeah, Shannon was absolutely like wanting to get, like if they were at a bar, Shannon Sharp would have beat the hell out of Skip Bayless.
How could
but they were
somebody
on
who never
TV.
played anything poo-poo the career of somebody who was a star?
I mean, it was a slap in
Just
the
blew up
face.
the entire sports talk radio industry.
Yeah, it was a slap in the face style comment. I remember, but that's when I thought it started to unravel.
I don't know how this guy became so popular. I mean, he was just a basic writer for the Dallas Morning News, and now he's worth $20 million a year to do this crap he does.
Takesmith.
People must watch.
He forges takes.
They must watch. They don't pay if there's no audience.
That's right. That's right.
I don't understand the appeal either. I don't even that type of show. I can't imagine just sitting down and watching that show.
Fox Sports
It's
wanted
kind of
that
like
kind of money. They were actually carrying bowling for a period of time.
it sounds like a radio show. You know, you could see that on the radio. Two guys arguing sports all day, but to sit down and watch that on TV, there's so much better things to see on TV than that.
And the ratings for those shows are so funny because the ratings don't matter. Because if any car dealership, doctor's office, dentist office, any like manufacturing shop that has
Bar
a
and
TV, a bar and grill, any restaurant, they just have ESPN on all day like that. So the ratings and all that are just so ridiculous because that's a show that's on TV that nobody watches or listens to for the most part. Like, that's what the show caters to. It's just it's just basically just something on a screen.
Guys, what is it about the industry of sports talk that makes you want to just throw down with your co-host? I've been in finance for 15 years and have never almost fought a coworker. Must be the high stakes and big money. Thanks. That's from Mario, and he's in Chicago at the moment, Doug. He's one of the Pandolfos, and they're at war with the Henschels.
We don't like our hot takes in question. We don't want anyone to disagree with us.
And also, there's only so many times you could pee on the same bush. You know, kind of like we're marking territory similar to, two alphas like Sharp and Bayless.
There just seem to be a lot of disagreements, a lot of fighting going on in the
reason we don't fight is we don't care.
That's it.
And I think that's the golden rule of radio.
Our takes maybe aren't scorching enough. Maybe we need to ratchet up the... Yeah, I guess we'll have to.
Well, we don't have somebody in here saying before the show starts how many times we have to disagree and yell at each other.
Is that a thing?
We should hire somebody.
You think those are all non-scripted? They're fights?
I don't know.
Are you kidding me?
That one was the most scripted one I've ever heard.
They probably find things that they disagree on and say, all right, we'll talk about this. And then as the discussion goes, they're good enough to ratchet it up and argue a little
they'll also
louder.
bring up a topic, and Shannon will go, well, I kind of like, I think he's the best. Well, I agree with you, but I'll go the other way just so we can argue.
Probably so.
I don't think they're in the meeting and Skip goes, okay, I'm going to absolutely railroad your career, your Hall of Fame career.
Why
and
would
you're
he do
going
that?
to stand up and act like you're going to hit me. Some of that is Skip just being an ass.
Maybe Bayless wanted him going so he gets somebody in there he can control more.
Remember when Jim Everett threw Jim Rome off the stage?
Yeah. Because he kept calling him Chris
Yeah,
Everett, right?
don't call me Chris. Okay, Chris. And he got up and threw the table. And
You
knocked
won't
him
call
off
me
the
Chris
stage.
again. Rome was like a little boy. I bet I do.
Now think of this duo. What about Skip Bayless, grooming a young Takesmith, Dan Orlovsky? Could you imagine those two in the mornings having arguments over your cup of coffee?
I think you need someone more notable to move the needle.
I know, I agree. I'm just saying that duo would be...
Michael Irvin likes to yell a lot.
Yeah.
I couldn't see that.
Who's the leading Takesmith of our era right now?
Ooh, nice question.
I think Skip is like the George Washington. He was kind of like... He seemed
Going
like
Mount Rushmore again.
It's always Mount Rushmore.
The first flamethrower. And then, I don't know. I don't know who would be. Like Stephen A., another...
Yes,
I'm telling you, Doug, keep an eye on that Dan Orlovsky. He will say anything.
I never see him.
Russo, Mad Dog, he's up there.
Orlovsky is like a soul seller. He will sell his soul for a take if he can get on a network. So, like, that dude is live. For
It's a good read, Plowhawk. It's a good read.
Who's the dude who just signed with ESPN for like $100 million?
I don't know.
Left his own podcast with
Pat
ESPN.
McAfee?
Oh, Pat McAfee. But he's good.
I don't think he's necessarily a Takesmith. I think there's a difference what
He's more
McAfee
TMA
does.
than he is.
Oh, he's so good.
Takesmith.
Oh, I love his style.
Kendrick Perkins is making a run for first-year Takesmith.
He's Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year. Yeah.
I hate to say it, he's like very similar to me, to where like all of his takes are wrong. You know what I mean?
And they're all so grand. Like
they're
he's like really changing the world with a take.
Yeah, Mad Dog Russo got takes.
Oh boy.
Oh wow, he got to be in the Mount Rushmore. He has to be. He yells the entire show for the last 30 years.
He's like the Bob Dylan of Takesmiths.
I guess locally, Kevin Slayton has been the leading Takesmith.
I would say he can't locally will not be stopped. I don't think he would be topped in that.
I don't know if there's Takesmiths at 101. I don't know.
Not really.
I'm thinking. I mean, Randy's like an encyclopedia of knowledge.
He's just so knowledgeable.
Rocky will like to give takes, but I don't know what he does on air.
Takesmith it.
But not like on sports necessarily.
Yeah, true.
Like
Game
on-
of Thrones, he will,
Yeah,
for sure.
He's kind of more like me, where we're more worried about nonsense than anything else. Yeah,
He's
no
so
one really.
consumed with the tuba and the sousaphone.
The horn section.
The Pat McAfee deal, Doug. But Marshawn wrote about this now? So he's making it's a 5-year, $85 million deal.
See, that didn't he, wasn't he making more? Now, again, these numbers, Tim, as you know, are solid facts.
Sure, absolutely.
Anything that comes out
Because
online.
anybody who signs a
contract, submits it to the newspaper.
I thought he was making $30 million a year doing.
So regarding that, in the article, it says among the network's roster of on-air personalities, only Monday Night Football's Troy Aikman will take home a higher salary than Pat McAfee. Still, the dollar amount McAfee is getting from ESPN, which is $17 million a year, represents a noticeable pay cut from the $30 million annually made at FanDuel. He agreed to a 4-year, $120 million deal there in December of 21, so only 18 months ago, only to abandon ship a year and a half later. Taken at face value, McAfee's decision to leave FanDuel for greener pastures at ESPN is puzzling, bordering on inexplicable. It seems to leave significant money on the table while also sacrificing much of his creative freedom, including the ability to curse freely without fear of repercussion. However, McAfee, despite his uniform of tank tops and gold chains, has always been a shrewd businessman who sees the whole picture, and that suggests there is a method to the 36-year-old's madness. Not only does ESPN offer McAfee a larger platform to grow his audience, but it'll also have available to him a near infinite well of behind-the-scenes resources. That's a stark contrast from FanDuel, where McAfee was fronting most of the production costs himself. Apparently, that was an important sticking point for McAfee, who was already stretched thin by his responsibilities as a new father. Even if McAfee's bottom line isn't as fat as the fortune he was making at FanDuel, he's extremely well compensated, and he's a rising star with potential to emerge alongside Stephen A. Smith as the most prominent voices at ESPN. There you go.
God, that's an awful lot of money to sit there and spit sports takes.
And I bet you he's probably thinking the ratings that first year will be huge, and ESPN does have the ability to pay Takesmith $20 to $30 million a year.
Yeah, at the same time firing thousands of other employees.
Well, you ignore that, Doug, because you got to give the Takesmith some money. But I think maybe he is playing long game, and I get the production, but wouldn't it be still cheaper to hire 4 or 5 people and outsource your production and have?
Well, are you interested in growing a business, or are you interested in breaking even? If you're interested in breaking even, start up a charity. If you want profit, you bring in people who generate revenue, and that's the way it is. It might sound harsh, but unless you're into socialism, we're out here to make money, and that's the game. So either generate revenue or go home and broker your time, ho.
Oh,
but ESPN doesn't have a lot. I mean, they do have behind-the-scenes people that can help them, but is he going to have guest appearances? Nobody on ESPN moved the needle for me anymore. I'm sorry. And Troy Aikman being the highest ESPN paid employee is so odd. That would not be my first 5 guesses. Would be Troy Aikman would be the high. That's so weird. But I don't know.
Especially because people are going to watch the game whether he's on it or not. If it's the game you want to see,
correct.
Whoever turns on and says, "Oh, Troy Aikman's on another game. I'm not interested in the game, but because he's on there, I'll watch."
The game's more enjoyable with a great announcer and announcing team. We can all agree with that. But I haven't turned off a game because the announcing has been so bad.
No.
I can't remember at least. Maybe I have, but that's never been my issue.
That was a surprising thing, because Aikman was going to go to Amazon and partner with Al Michaels. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And out of nowhere, ESPN got in the game with the goal of making Monday Night Football a big thing again, because it had really fallen by the wayside, and Sunday Night Football has become the big thing, and Monday Night Football was getting the second-tier games. So they allocated those dollars. Aikman wanted to work with Joe Buck, and so Joe, whose deal was up in a year, got, I don't know what his exact feelings were, but now he is making, I believe, more money and not having to call baseball. I think some people thought he would want to call baseball.
He only called one football game. Wasn't he doing Thursday and Sunday?
There were times where they were doing Thursday and Sunday and baseball. And so what I think, but I understand some, people who might be in a spot where they're going, well, you work wherever you get the most money. And I get that, because oftentimes people need to work wherever they get the most money because they are living paycheck to paycheck or they have expenses. But if you get to a point like Pat McAfee and it's $30 million, but you're working your ass off and you just started a family and you are exposed because you are fronting the production cost and you're running everything, you go, okay, well, I can make $17.5 million and I don't have to worry about anything outside of doing my show. I understand where he's coming from on that. And the thought process is he can then continue to grow it. So my guess is he is licensing the product that he still owns to ESPN to monetize it. But he now no longer has the overhead worries and has to worry about the staffing, which I think is what has gone on there. So, yeah, you're leaving a bunch of money on the table. God, I guess, the math would be somewhere $30 to $40 million. That's, I don't care who you are, it's a huge amount of money. Very few people in the world would dismiss that. But
If it was getting to the point that it was driving him crazy, then, you take life over dollars. So once you have enough money, that's kind of the decision that he makes. So I think that's what it's about. But I understand somebody on the outside looking, going, "Oh, hold on, you're making $30 million a year, and now you're making $17.5 million a year. How in the hell are you doing that?"
Yeah. Probably doesn't change your lifestyle very much.
And that's it.
You've probably got millions in the bank, got more than you'll ever spend with a lifetime already. So why not enjoy yourself more?
Except he's got to spend every day in Bristol, unless he's doing a show from somewhere else.
I don't think he's doing it in Bristol, is he?
I would bet he was doing it in the same studio he's been doing.
Isn't he in Indianapolis?
That's what I thought. I don't think they would make him.
He built something he calls the Terror Dome. I think to do the show. I'm guessing he paid for it, and I think it's on his property. Oh, that's nice. Dan Patrick did that. Didn't he build a studio in his
yeah,
like the
house
town or something he lived in? Or,
I think he lives in Connecticut somewhere.
Yeah, he's based in Lawrence, Indiana.
All the guys I work with listen to McAfee. I tried to tell them they might like TMA. They gave you guys a listen when the Plowboy was talking about shaving his unit on OnlyFans. Now they're spreading rumors about me around the office, and they're openly avoiding me.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Thanks, that's from Sister Patricia.
I don't
You got to
doubt
be in a
that.
safe place and really know the people you're recommending.
Look in the
show
mirror,
to.
Sister Catherine.
This is your principal.
Yeah.
Dan, when Pat McAfee was playing, he was 5'11", 255.
That's a bulky punter.
That's a massive human.
That's fat.
That's not fat. That's muscle.
What position did he play?
Punter.
Punter, yeah.
Doug, Pat McAfee's based in Indy, and that's where he's going to stay.
Okay,
That's a chunk of the
apparently.
chunk.
Yeah, I'm sure he's
Well,
good friends with
cameras
Hench.
are so good, technology's so good, you can't tell where they are. They look like they're right next door to the person
He
they're
probably
talking to.
sits in a press box with Henshin during Colts games.
I don't
He
think
sits next
so.
to Henshin?
He bought an old church and then turned it into a studio.
No, that's cool.
Seeing the forest through the trees, he can keep his ESPN thing going forever. DraftKings and FanDuel are burning through cash for market share. That balloon is going to pop. That is from Larry Thornton. I think the other reason you guys haven't fought yet is that you have an average weight of 123 pounds and your fourth producer is old enough to be considered a hate crime if you hit him. That's from Mario in Chicago. And he's in the finances.
That was a nice take.
I'm the
there.
fourth producer. So me, Plowsy, Jackson. Who else is here?
I guess KG and O-Town's moved ahead of you in the depth chart, according to Mario.
So if anyone were to strike you, it would be considered a hate crime.
What is the average weight of this show? I don't even know who the heaviest person. I guess it'd have to be between Doug and Jackson, but not because of BMI, but just because of height.
Yeah. I'm down
It's a light show.
We're live.
Yeah.
When I find it, the weight so interesting. I step on the scale all the time now because I'm really watching my weight. When I went to bed last night, I was 177.3.
Jackson, what are you right now?
Buck 83.
All right.
And then when I got up this morning, but without going to the bathroom, without eating anything, I was 172.5. I lost almost 5 pounds sleeping.
Oh, you are live.
Where does the weight go?
Did you poop the bed or something?
I didn't know. I didn't eat anything. I didn't go to the bathroom and lost almost 5
Is your scale
pounds.
a little questionable?
No.
Really?
It's a new scale. I just
Bizarre.
wonder, where does the weight go when you burn? I know you burn some calories sleeping, but where does it go?
You are your lightest the first moment you wake up because it's also your most dehydrated point of the day. You haven't been drinking anything for the last 7 or 8 hours.
No, but I didn't lose any of that sleeping.
Maybe you don't know that you did.
What's that supposed to mean?
Secret secretions.
Maybe that's maybe that
Ooh,
CPAC.
Bill.
Maybe that CPAC burns weight.
CPAC.
I don't know. That's life-saving oxygen.
Maybe you have it on vacuum mode and it's pulling air out.
Yeah, but it is interesting that over the course of the day you might gain 5 or 6, 7 pounds.
Weight fluctuates like crazy.
Yeah.
But that's all like water weight. Like if you were just like stop drinking water for a day and then weigh yourself, you would be surprised how light you would get.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
No, it's bad.
KG and O-Town says, if you count me, I will drive that weight average up. That's from KG and O-Town.
He's a lot of muscle.
Muscle boy.
And muscle weighs more than fat.
Think about that.
Yeah, it does. So how much are you weighing now? I guess we could figure out.
183.
All right.
Okay, let's do it.
I was $157 this morning.
183.
Tight $157.
183 plus a tight, how much?
157. Tight, though, thank you.
157 plus, I'll go like, I'm about 175.
Nice.
And Plowsy, you're 115.
No, give me 116.
Yeah, 116.
I ate this
Plus
morning.
116. Nikki, how much are you?
Yeah, what do you think? I think we're probably about the same.
152.
Oh, 152.
152 divided by, what was that, five of us?
5, yeah.
Divided by 5.
This is a tiny show.
Wow, it's really good.
Our average weight is 661 pounds.
That's
Gosh
great.
darn this calculator! What did I hit? Son of a sack ass!
Add it up and then
Not that
divide it by
hard.
5.
That's what I did, and I got 661.4.
Boy, we're morbidly obese.
Boy, we need triple XLs.
Oh, gosh.
Gotta hit the gym.
Knew it couldn't be that easy. Nothing works.
Someone's gonna like text in the answer and it's gonna piss us off.
I'm guessing it'd be like a 160
Hold on, I'm
something.
doing it.
160 something.
What was the total weight?
Start over.
156.4 is our average weight.
156.4.
Oh my God.
That's pretty
Alive.
light. There's not a radio
Plowhawk,
show
you
in
really
town.
pull us down.
Not a radio show in town that could match
There
that.
is no way.
Yeah, Plowsy brought that way down. His 115.
Okay, guys, I get it. Yeah. Anybody else want to say it? Doug, do you want to say it real quick?
You brought the weight way down.
Way down.
We have two 150s, a 70 and 80, and then Plowsy a 115.
Yeah.
Brought that all.
Not real macho.
116, but who's counting? Not me.
Guys, the funny thing is, what's the average weight of your listener?
285.
Twice that.
285.
It's double.
Yeah.
Hey, you can go to Glenn Betts Jewelers. They've been in business in St. Louis since 1941, and they're now operated by the third and fourth generation of the Betts family. The Glenn Betts difference is you are served personally. You are not sold. Glenn Betts Jewelers develops relationships through generations of your family, too. They get to know your likes, lifestyle, and who and what you love. The 3 L's. It's GlennBettsJewelers.com. GLENNBETZ Jewelers.com. Located 1 mile east of 270 on Manchester and De Pere. In the jewelry business, there is good, there is better, and then there is Betts. The Betts family passion for serving their customers has been passed down from generation to generation. If you are looking to improve your game, if you are heading toward the Elite Eight and the J. Randolph Jr. Fan Page Club Championship, the move for you is to get to Family Golf and Learning Center. I got a chance to play that par 3 course for the very first time a couple of days ago, playing with my 5-year-old son, and it was wonderful. That is a perfect place for young people to learn to play the game. Got, I don't know, like 40-yard holes, but then also 125-yard holes. Doug, you got water on either side. Is that on 6 or 7?
I don't know which hole it is.
Either way, tight little shot.
Fun
there.
little course.
It is. I'll play that a bunch of times this summer. Family Golf and Learning Center, a premier golfing facility for all abilities and ages, provides a friendly and encouraging practice experience for the individual or the family. You want to get lessons? They have some great instructors there. Plus, they have the double-decker driving range, that short game area, putting green, and a place to enjoy lunch or dinner on the terrace of the Back Nine Bar and Grill. Host birthday parties, graduation parties, corporate events, and clinics, all at Family Golf at FamilyGolfOnline.com. On the other side of the break, ladies and gentlemen, a huge announcement.
What?
The Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month for the month of May.
Well, maybe that's what Lerner was going to say at 9 o'clock on the KC show.
Oh, yeah.
She was going to announce our winner.
And then at 9:45, we have the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today. At 10 o'clock, Jackson and I celebrate our 17-month anniversary. Or is it 18-month? 17-month, you're right.
17, yeah.
17-month anniversary of Balloon Party. And we have an unbelievable show lined up. Jackson, what do we have?
It's a gala. I mean, it really is.
That means you got nothing, right?
Got Den at 10:15.
Okay.
Off day vibe.
That's something.
Off day vibe. John, I know the Cardinals and Royals played a classic 3 days ago. Wanted to recap Monday's tilt. 7-0 your final. What'd you see? All right, let's fast forward to Tuesday's 2-1 game. Royals in town. Fun lineup. What'd you see?
Did they really just score 2 runs in those 2 games against Kansas
Yeah,
City?
but look at Kansas City's pitching.
Right.
Yeah.
Cranky.
Wow. And we're still in the race, right in the middle of it all. You know they're going to win it. You know they're going to win the division.
The Cardinals?
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. I got to see what the latest is on Bovada, because there might be better odds now. Do they have the worst record in the National League still?
Well, there's no way to know, Tim.
Nah, you're right. I apologize.
Let me see if I can find it.
I'm going to look up at the odds here. Tick-tock, tick-tock,
tick-tock. I'll see if they got the worst
Beating
record.
the odds, beating the odds.
I think they've lost the most games. They're percentage points ahead of the Cubs.
Yes.
25 and 32 are the Cardinals.
They have a better record than the
They have
Rockies,
4.5,
too.
God, they're only plus 200 to win the Central. God
And the
bless
Nats.
America. And they're in last place? Or no, they're in second to last place?
Second. Tied with the
And they're
Cubs.
plus 200 to win the Central.
What are they, 4.5 out or 5.5?
5 out.
5 out.
Yeah, that's nothing. That's
Breathing down the Brewers' neck.
I mean, it's just not something that I... Even though, yeah, if you said you just pick somebody, don't even take odds, I'd pick the Cardinals, but 2-1 just doesn't necessarily give me much incentive. Doug, what do you think their World Series odds are to win the World Series?
Oh.
Plus 1,800.
Plus 3,000.
Plus 3,000.
Is that what it is?
Are you betting it?
Yeah.
You are. Plus 3,000.
Huh.
The Braves are the favorite, plus 550, along with the Dodgers, plus 550. The Rays are plus 600.
You could see the Cardinals winning the division. You could not see them winning the World Series.
I would agree, but then this clip will be played on Swope's picks of the Cardinals winning the 2023 World Series.
Yeah, could be.
Because I could have pictured them winning the World Series in 2006.
As I badmouth the Reds, they got hot.
Yep, that's
they
exactly
won like
right.
5 in a row and just 3 games out.
Name your World Series rotation. You got Michaelis.
Michaelis pitches every game.
Yeah.
Michaelis.
Montgomery's been a little rough lately.
Wainwright will get in there.
Yeah, he's only had a 7 ERA, so that's
I know, but
wrong.
he'll get in there.
Guys, I just posted on the fan page to have everybody post their weight. I'll figure out the average this evening. Thanks. That's Chairman Stephen Wild.
All of them add another 25 pounds. You know they're going to go skimpy.
I'm alarmed by the average weight of this radio program.
Right, less than 160 pounds. It's Twink Central in here.
And if we took
And I wanted us
Plowhawk
to be in the
out,
home run derby.
Yeah.
if we took Plowhawk out,
Get a
it'd be
bunny
167.5.
So that
That's
again,
still twinkish.
that's still twink. It's not like I'm carrying, from
No.
200 to 150.
It's a 10-pound difference.
Well, each of us is a slave to fitness.
Yeah, we're cute boys.
I ran a 7-minute mile.
You did.
That's true, man. Ken Rosenthal said the Cardinals will win the division by 10 games. That's from Josh Bob Bill, who shares a building with Keisha Gray and maybe Greg Vaughn. Wow, I didn't know that he had said that. I know both he and Buster Olney said the Cardinals are still the team to beat in the Central, but winning it by 10 games.
So we're going to have like a 75% winning
I
percentage.
just don't know. I mean,
rest of the way,
they're gonna. If they are lurking, I would imagine they will trade 1 or 2 of the current players on the major league roster for a starting pitcher of note.
Yeah.
Something to keep an eye on, by the way, is it's not just the butt ass of the American League West, which is phenomenal. I mean, it's record setting what's going on in Oakland. It's what's going on in San Diego. And not just because it's stunning to see that team 5 games under 500 with the lineup they have, but they do have some damn good names in that starting rotation, some of whom are free agents after the year. And then you sit there and go, I wonder if the Padres, who are still considered to be a legitimate favorite to win the World Series despite being in 4th place. I mean, the Padres' World Series odds are plus 1,600. That's 50% better than the Cardinals. But they do have some damn good arms in that rotation. I don't know why they're not winning. I have no idea. I haven't watched enough of the San Diego Padres. But would the Padres be a team that would sell, especially considering they were the one franchise that Bailey's did not pay this past Tuesday?
Yeah.
So now the games are, I mean, speaking of which, quite an exchange yesterday in which Rob Manfred accused the CEO of Bally's of blackmailing him in his office, and that was under oath. We'll have that for you coming up next, along with the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After.
Doug Vaughn here alongside Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert. Ryan, I know the market is cooling right now. Is it still a good time to buy a house? Rates up? It's a mess out there, isn't it?
Yeah, right? I mean, think about it. Think about where we were a year ago. We saw the headlines, and if you were one of those trying to buy a house a year ago, you know darn well it was tough. A listing would come on the market and 20, 30, 40 offers would come above asking price, and it was a very difficult environment to navigate through. Now look at today. Homes are coming on the market, price decrease. Then an offer comes in and it's well below list, and people are buying these houses a lot less expensive than they would have a year ago. So yes, mortgage rates are a little bit higher, but the savings you get on the sale price should more than make up for that. And then at thehomeloanexpert.com, we will refinance your loan with no fees when rates do go back down. So you get in there now and you marry the house and just date the rate until we can refinance you at no cost. Learn more today at thehomeloanexpert.com.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie.
And now the Pepper and Genie Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepper and Genie.
Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We Just Know It's Stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at tmastl.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever. TMA wants to send you to Evolution Festival, a new elevated music festival experience coming to Forest Park August 26th and 27th, featuring the Black Keys and the Black Crows, plus Brandy Carlisle and Harper and the Innocent Criminals, Brittany Howard, Ice Cube, Morgan Wade, and more. This is our town. This is our time. This is our evolution. Tickets for this elevated bourbon and barbecue experience over 2 days in Forest Park are on sale now, but you can win your way in on the TMA app. If you don't have it, find out how to get it at tmastl.com.
That ball is gone!
Blow off work and join the morning after at Busch Stadium on Wednesday, June 14th, when the Cardinals take on the Giants for a day game. You can get field tickets for $30, which includes $12 in cards cash. Maybe use it to buy helmet nachos. You'll sit with other TMA listeners too. Before the game, head over to Salt and Smoke at Ballpark Village for a pre-game live TMA broadcast from 7-ish to 10 with a special breakfast and drink menu from Salt and Smoke. Not to completely overload you with information, but here goes. Head to the TMA STL shop to get your best fans and baseball shirt for our big day at a big discount. Use the code CARDS to get the shirt for only $20. Plus, all shirts will ship to Hubbard, and you'll pick them up at Salt and Smoke the morning of the game. Find out more about all this stuff at tmastl.com.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here right now with James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. I made the switch to start working with you, James. It couldn't have been easier to make that switch to start saving money.
Well, I appreciate that, Tim, and we appreciate your business. Yeah, this is the time to save money. My goodness, we're all feeling it at the grocery store, at the gas pump, etc. So if you've noticed that your insurance rate has gone up, I want to stress how easy it is to get a proposal from us by going online at carltoninsurance.net.
Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency online at carltoninsurance.net.
This is Doug Biggs from the Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm, and I want to talk to you about what happens when you get in a car accident. Hopefully most of you never will be, but if you are, the first few days after an accident can be critical. Unfortunately, from the moment your case begins, the insurance company is going to be working against you trying to minimize their payout. You're probably going to get a call from an adjuster who seems nice, who seems worried about your well-being, but what they're actually trying to do is get a statement from you to use against you later. Insurance companies have specialized systems and thousands of workers who follow a playbook to pay you as little money as possible. At Longo Biggs Injury Law, we know the playbook and we can fight back. If you or a loved one is injured in an accident, visit our website or Google Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or Apparel location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the 2023 TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award, and if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to tmastl.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you, or fake you, or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios. KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
I mean, what the hell is going on?
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Firecrackers toasting. Fireworks going up tonight. You and I
We're in the hallway.
Every time I walk in here, it's 7:03.
Yeah, is there nothing else they could put on there?
So you hear the exact same thing. I walk in and they're playing our show.
Oh, God, don't play our show.
And I'm going, my God, you have the Riz show, which has like this huge following. Courtney's show has a huge following. And they're playing our nonsense.
Maybe they're trying
and
to
honestly, I have the same feeling as you. I'm like, God, could they maybe turn that off?
Or at least
I think it's on a rotator, so like...
I don't know.
Because like when I walk in, Plock, I don't know about you, but when I walk in around 6, it's always the Riz show.
Well, once Riz goes live, but once they're off air, it's back to us again.
I
Maybe
think
they're trying to drive people out of the building.
And around probably 11:45 today, you're going to hear Tim's utteral moan as Stan Hubbard walks into the building.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like a lunar eclipse. Like if we're on the rotator at the right time in the lobby, and some goofy ass segment's playing.
Oh yeah, that's high risk.
Someone might catch a pube. Like I remember I was walking through the lobby and there were people sitting in the lobby and it was Franco Pinion reading the Dotem email and I was like, oh my God, what these poor people have no idea what they're listening to. The undercarriage shrubs of a bear.
You filthy boy whore.
Okay, someone just heard that in the lobby.
It's Ryan Kelly Morning After. Welcome to our 9 o'clock hour. EDF Group, sponsor of our text inbox here on this award-winning radio presentation. It was Engineer Design Facilities, but now it's the EDF Group. They're moving forward as the EDF Group, the most experienced data center and critical facilities service provider in the St. Louis market. Check out that newly revamped website, theedfgroup.com, and take a look at each of the 3 divisions they have to offer. EDF Group, your one throat to choke for all your critical facilities, data center, commercial fire alarm, and electrical and IT infrastructure needs. To contact the EDF Group, email fire@theedfgroup.com. Experience the EDF Group difference and learn more at the edfgroup.com. Holderness and Bourne is where you can go and get wonderful golf polos. hbgolf.com and enter the promo code TMA15 and you get 15% off your order. When you want to look good and you also want to feel good in all types of weather conditions and swing a golf club comfortably, fit is essential. Holderness and Bourne has nailed the fit because their approach is tailored but not tight even for those who wear a bigger size. Enjoy 15% off at hbgolf.com with the code TMA15 and check out their new spring styles and colors. Again, go to hbgolf.com and apply the code TMA15 for 15% off your next order and feel the difference in their premium golf apparel. Holderness and Bourne, classic style with modern fit and performance. I will be off tomorrow. Jackson will be in here running point. KG and O-Town will be in. Joey Zanaboni will be joining the program. Doug, as my continued conspiracy to make more money by having guests on plays out here on TMA. This is absolutely.
Okay.
The more fan page theories. So that will be taking place. Jackson and I will make more money by having John Denton on coming up at 10:15.
It's a money grab.
Absolutely. This is I don't know if this is a money grab, but it's just not paying bills, so you can call it whatever you would like. This Bailey's situation. Plowhawk, you're a Bailey's guy, am I right?
I mean, they have a great business model. They can do whatever they want, not pay anybody. The best.
Oh, that's the model?
So they got together in court yesterday.
It's so good, dude.
It's
unreal.
I could do 5 hours on this thing.
I follow it like a soap opera.
That's unbelievable. No easy task today. U.S. Judge Christopher Lopez quipped 9.5 hours into Wednesday's highly contentious Bailey's bankruptcy hearing in Houston, featuring the regional sports network on one side and Major League Baseball and 4 of its teams on the other. With Commissioner Rob Manfred often bobbing back and forth during his time on the witness stand, MLB's 4-year battle with Diamond Sports Group, a.k.a. Bailey's, and its parent Sinclair, got a full public airing, held to determine if Diamond Sports Group should pay the Rangers, Twins, Guardians, and Diamondbacks full value on their TV contracts. The hearing ripped back the curtain on the bitter relationship between baseball and Bailey's, which airs 13 baseball teams' games in addition to 28 from the NBA and NHL. The central issue in the case, Doug, is this.
Okay, what is the central issue?
Bailey's passionate pursuit of streaming rights for all its teams, with those locked down for one more season for all its NBA and NHL franchises, but only for 5 Major League Baseball squads. Since Sinclair purchased the regional sports network business in 2019, Through the bankruptcy filing in March and on Wednesday, it has aggressively sought MLB's direct-to-consumer rights as the cord-cutting induced demise of the traditional cable system accelerated and ultimately forced bankruptcy. Here is what MLB's outside counsel James Bromley called Bailey's approach.
What do you call it?
One word: blackmail.
Oh.
He said it would pay the 4 teams at issue full value if they simply handed over the direct streaming rights.
Jesus.
The issue with that is those have value. You don't just hand them over. Now,
No.
Bailey's just wants them. So they are saying they will pay their bill if you just hand them the direct streaming rights. DTC means to be able to watch it on your phone and wouldn't have the blackouts, for the record, because I realize I'm using terms that some people who don't follow sports media might not follow.
That's a good term. I mean, you can't. It's not in the contracts. You can't say, we filed for bankruptcy. We're not going to pay you. Give us more, and we might pay you.
I know they can't say it, but I feel badly for the people who work for those companies.
Yeah, I do too.
I honestly do, because it's been a well-known bad place to work for 2+ decades, and now you get. I mean, this is on full display now. Now it's under oath. Another MLB outside counsel, Ben Walker, compelled Diamond CEO David. Doug, you pronounce it Preslak?
I've always said Preslak.
So the CH is silent?
I think it's Preslak.
Thank you.
Yeah.
To divulge the number of subscribers to Bailey's Sports Plus since the direct-to-consumer app launched last June, a figure the company has held tight. The answer is 203,000, a figure Preslak admitted is 55% of their goal. And despite this budget miss in the first quarter, you're still projecting over 850,000 subscribers by the end of the year, Walker asked. That's more than 4 times the number of subscribers as of April. Preslak answered affirmatively, though he used a figure of 802,000 and confirmed the next question that Diamond is projecting 10 million subscribers by 2028. For those of you who occasionally may invest in startups, they call this the hockey stick, in which here are projections, and then it just goes like that, like a hockey stick, even though there's no real basis of a track record
Just
to
makes them
indicate
feel
that.
good.
This, Sure. Yeah, and then usually investors go, thanks, I'll pass.
Mm-hmm.
But at Bailey's, a company that's worth billions of dollars, they do go with the hockey stick. It's been no secret that DSG and MLB have been at loggerheads. You like that, Doug, at loggerheads?
I like it, yeah.
For some time, but the depths of the enmity came in the open with Manfred's time on the witness stand. Friendly questioning from Bromley elicited an anecdote in which the commissioner accused the executive chairman of Sinclair, David Smith, of threatening economic harm to baseball in a private meeting in the commissioner's office if baseball did not consent to handing over the direct-to-consumer rights.
Dude,
It's unbelievable. Like a shakedown.
People.
It's unbelievable.
They don't even have leverage.
It's like the meeting between Sam Ace Rothstein and the local from Las Vegas when the guy wasn't handling the slots properly.
So how would they do? They just shut down all broadcasting of all games?
I shall tell you. Here is exactly what Rob Manfred said under oath yesterday.
Okay.
Quote, the chairman of Sinclair actually came to New York to see me. We met one-on-one, Manfred said. And Mr. Smith, said, well, we want these rights. And I said, well, unfortunately, sometimes people want things they're not going to get, and you're not going to get these rights. And he said to me, so let me tell you what's going to happen.
Boy, he's laying a law down here.
He says, I put $2 billion into the purchase of these regional sports networks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this going long enough until I get my $2 billion out, okay? And then I'm going to start squeezing your clubs I'm reading this transcript. And then I'm going to start squeezing your clubs to take their rights fees down, okay?
Sam Rothstein.
In order to make sure that I stay profitable in the RSN business. And if they don't agree to that, I'm going to put the entity into bankruptcy, and I'm going to selectively reject contracts. Jackson, you can vouch. I am reading word for word.
It's absolutely bananas.
By rejecting contracts, Smith would have met what Diamond Sports Group, a.k.a. Bailey's, just did with the Padres, which is they just walked away from the contract on Tuesday. They did not pay the San Diego Padres.
Because they didn't want to.
That's right. In the case of the 4 teams represented at Wednesday's hearing, and again, that's the Guardians, Diamondbacks, Twins, and
Rangers.
Thank you. Diamond instead is using its rights in bankruptcy to pay for fair market value during the time between the filing of the bankruptcy and the decision whether to reject or keep the contract. Judge Lopez ordered last month for Bailey's to pay half the rights after the company ceased payments. When Bailey's does make a decision, if it keeps the contracts, it must then revert to the original contract value. But if they reject it, at that time it doesn't need to reimburse the teams for the lower payments. When it came time for Manfred's cross-examination, Bailey's outside counsel, John Higgins, did not deny the David Smith meeting in Manfred's office, but pointed out Bailey's is now all but separate from Sinclair. Commissioner, you relished telling your story about what David Smith said to you in your office, Higgins said, and then pointing to Preschlack, the Diamond CEO in the gallery, Higgins asked Manfred if he knew who he was. When the commissioner said yes, Higgins replied, "He doesn't work for David Smith, right?" Manfred responded, "I don't know who he works for." Sinclair's role is greatly reduced since the bankruptcy, with creditors agreeing to exchange their owed debt for Sinclair equity. So this guy went to Manfred and said he worked for him, but he didn't work for him?
Huh. It was just a shakedown.
Dude.
Let me ask you, why can they just pick and choose? Like, I guess they paid the Cardinals and the other teams.
They did. That is correct.
But they just said, let's just pick the Potter. We won't pay them this month.
That is correct.
Okay, they just pick and choose who they want to pay.
That is correct. I know all of this sounds asinine, and you would assume that there's more to it, but that actually is correct.
Put all the teams in a hat and say...
it's not in a hat.
Padres.
The Padres are losing money. The Cardinals are not. Many teams are not. But either way, in the case of all, they overpaid. And that is at its core. And furthermore, the biggest issue is they can't do the direct to, because Cardinal fans right now want to go, okay, I just want to be able to watch. Some Cardinal fans want to just be able to watch on their phone. Well, you can, as long as you're not in the St. Louis area.
Yeah.
You know?
I wish the Cardinals should start their own network and just say, hey, $10 a month, you can watch all the Cardinal games you want on the Cardinal Baseball Network.
Well, there would be that, but that's one issue because it has overhead to do that. But then secondarily, a number of people have said they wouldn't pay it. Now, what fans don't realize is you were paying it, but you just paid your cable or your satellite bill and didn't realize you were paying it. It was rolled in, but it was itemized in the bill. But people psychologically feel like it's like how people would pay for like a newspaper. How many people pay for online at STL Today or The Athletic? I do, but it's part of doing the shows I do. So that's how I justify it. But for a lot of people, they go, well, I wasn't paying for STLtoday.com in the 90s and the 2000s, so I'm not going to start doing it now. Even though there's certainly value to what you are reading. Why would you assume that you should get that for free? And the reason is because when the internet really came into its own in the mid-1990s, newspapers didn't know how to react, and so they go, crap, I guess we'll just put everything up on the website, and didn't have a monetization short-term strategy or a long-term how this is going to affect the actual print business. And of course, the print is now thinner than my hairline, and there's no advertising in it, and people are going, well, I didn't pay to read online 10 years ago. I'm not going to do it now. And so people just go without it. And that is why you see that industry going down. So the same thing for baseball. People are not going, I'm not going to pay $20. I'd do it happily. If I could just go, the Cardinals are on, and I can watch it here and not think anything of it. And I don't have to subscribe to cable to get it. But that's, surprisingly, from my standpoint, it is really not being well received. And right now, it's just an idea. Now, maybe, Doug, when it actually comes to fruition, should it come to fruition, people will pay. Because then they'll go, okay, I'm not going to pay for cable anymore because I don't really need cable. I just get the apps of the shows I want. And so I'll view the Cardinals like an app, and I will get all of the games, kind of like you get all of MLS with Apple TV. I don't know. But that's what baseball's staring down the barrel of. Because either way, the revenue that you were getting from your television deals, my belief is going to go down significantly.
Yeah, and probably ultimately salaries of players.
And I don't understand. Like, me personally, I wouldn't get STL Today pay for it because I really don't care about news.
Nice.
No, I don't. I don't care.
You don't care to stay informed at all?
No, if I need a Cardinal score, I just type in MLB scores.
But
I see what they're doing.
there's more to life than a Cardinal
I know,
score.
but I don't care about news. I don't watch it.
You don't care about what happens in your town?
No, I have not watched
country?
a newscast in 2 years. I couldn't tell you what's going on in the world.
And you're comfortable with that?
Yeah, because it's mainly sad. And I don't want to see sad news, so I just
But
stay
you
out
still
there.
have to stay informed.
No, I don't. Why? I do this show and I go home and watch Blacklist. I don't care
Major
what's
surgery was needed.
I don't
to fix
care
the
what's
Canucks.
I don't care what's going on outside my house.
Aren't you glad not everyone thinks that way? That some people do like to be informed to know what's going on?
Well, to each their own.
Informed is certainly subject to opinion.
Yeah, to each their own. What does it matter? You get informed and you just go rip somebody on Twitter. I saw this article, you idiot. That's all this is. But
about 300 fans showed up here at the Spreckles Theater tonight. They had plenty to say. Now, the Spreckles, you may know, is named after a sugar magnate, but there was nothing sweet about how this forum started.
That's just good journalism. That's all it is.
Nobody wants to watch that stuff. But the fact is, before the internet, people paid 50 cents a day to get their newspaper. But now you won't pay 50 cents a day to get it online. And I think it's because it was free for so long. If the paper had been free for so long and then they said, we're going to charge you 50 cents for the paper, probably wouldn't get it. But it's been free for so long.
You're saying exactly what I just was saying.
Yeah, it's free for so long. And now people are saying, whoa, I don't want to pay for it now. But yet they would still pay for a newspaper.
Right. And there's so much out there on the internet that you don't pay for, that people are also inclined not
you can go to
pay
CNN and all these networks if you want news and for free. And I only know a few. I know the Washington Post and New York Times will usually pop up a good article I want to read, and I start reading it. It has nothing to do with news. It has to do with entertainment or something, music. And I start reading it, and after one paragraph, buy it. I can't. So
for those of us who haven't
news is a dead media.
For those of us who haven't had cable for years, this $20 a month thing makes perfect sense. The only option that has existed for us for years is shelling out more than $100 per month for cable subscription we don't want. That's what it has been for the last couple of years. So I have Spectrum, even though I also have YouTube TV, but I have Spectrum because that's my way to watch the Cardinals and the Blues.
Yeah.
Now I realize there are back alley ways of watching the content, but that is not the route that I go. Doesn't mean I'm on a moral high ground. I'm a pervert. I'm a creep. I'm godless. But I just don't go that route. I just want the convenience of being able to just click on it. But it is not really all of that convenient relative to what it actually was. It would be incredibly interesting, and I know we talked a little bit about this, if it did go to over-the-air networks, like if it went to Channel 11, which is a network affiliate, but it's not an NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox affiliate. All due respect to the CW and all the great things they're doing with Live Golf.
Tim, my favorite part of this MLB Sinclair article, this one's from Front Office Sports, is in January, MLB offered to purchase the media rights for the 14 clubs broadcast by Diamond Sports Group. Preschlock said the offer was for $60 million, although Manfred said the total package was around $400 million.
Doug, there's a slight discrepancy, and you just have to wonder if there was a typo.
Yeah, well, I don't believe the Bailey's people.
It's unbelievable. He said, no, they offered us $60 million. Manfred said, no, $400 million.
Right. And what did Bailey's purchase it for originally, for the record?
I don't know.
$10.6 billion.
Oh, that's good ROI.
In 2019. That's like the KFNS sale of 2004 versus the one in 2010. Beyond. It actually mathematically might wind up being about right.
Well, I don't know if they could ever make it work where they just partnered with a station like Channel 11. It would certainly help with getting the games out there. Everyone would be able to see them, but I don't think the Cardinals would make near enough money that way. A local station's not going to give them a boatload of money for the broadcast rights. Nothing like what Bailey's has given them, and the Cardinals could still sell the advertising.
Cardinals are making about $70 million this year.
Yeah.
From the Bailey's deal.
Yeah, I can't believe any local station.
Well, that wouldn't be it. That's the thing. They wouldn't. It just wouldn't even be live. Now, I don't know what the advertising split is. See, and I know I'm going to go kind of into the weeds on this, between Bailey's and the Cardinals right now. In other words, my guess is, this is 100% speculation, well, what do? They pay for those rights, and then what do they do once they pay for the rights? Then they sell the advertising, with, of course, the goal to generate more than $70 million. Now, I know the Cardinals were given, I believe, a quarter of the Bailey Sports Midwest ownership in the transaction, which, I don't know what kind of value that holds at this point. So they own 25% of the business, not the controlling shares. But if the Cardinals took it in-house, and I don't even know if they would have any interest in doing this, and then sold all the advertising, and then have some kind of rev share with Channel 11, I'm just putting, as if Channel 11's interested in this, I have no idea, then perhaps that is the way they can make up the dollars. But would they make $70 million off of advertising on Cardinals games over the course of the year? I have absolutely no idea. I have no idea. But if they are indeed making $70 million from their television deal this year. And let's say going forward, just for the sake of the discussion, they only make 50, which I'm sure plenty of people go, $50 million, a lot of money. Well, that's fine, but you don't know what the expense side is, and that's $20 million. You can then see how that begins to trickle down to salaries for players, much less the organization. So this is a significant sports business story. It's a sports fan story because of the way fans get to access the games. But then it actually can become a baseball story because it can impact player salaries. And then, just in addition, when the CEOs and the commissioners talk under oath, it sounds like it's like a Scorsese movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got everything.
Someone's going to get their leg broken.
You think that's what's happening next?
If we see Manfred in a cast, we'll know what happened.
Are the Padres still being broadcast?
They are. MLB Network is handling it. Okay. So if you have MLB TV, they don't black it out in San Diego right now.
And again, you have to have MLB TV, which is a
which I do have, but when I go to watch the Cardinals games, it's blacked out.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, if you probably have a cable subscription that you used to watch the Padres on, you probably have MLB.
But see, most people are getting away from cable and going to the apps.
Right. So, but
even if it's YouTube TV, which doesn't have MLB Network, I don't believe. So you're still having to pay for it to watch it.
I'm learning a lot about business on my travel today, and it's great. Bailey's is basically using the Godfather method of negotiating, trying to get a signature. I'm walking into my next meeting and saying, you're investing with us, but we're just going to steal your money, and if you complain, I'll just sue you or file for bankruptcy. Thanks. Doug, it's Mario in Chicago, and he's got a new business plan.
Yeah, seems to be the method here.
They're very perturbed by the fact that a team left because they were no longer getting paid.
God almighty.
Asking for protection money.
It's wild.
It is really good.
Well, there's a reason I haven't seen a game in like 2.5 years.
You haven't seen a Cardinal game in 2.5 years?
No.
Damn. They're not that fun to watch.
You're not interested at all in the game?
I am, if I could find it.
They're a last place team with
I'm
not
not
one
paying
single pitcher.
Bailey's to watch it and have
Miles Michaelis is on a heater plow.
have it
Outside
buffer
of
every 10
Michaelis.
minutes.
So does that mean you only get your opponent's feed, or is your broadcast team still doing the games? That's from Chunk and the Chuck. I don't get either. It doesn't matter. It's blacked out on MLB TV. When I go to ML, let's say I wanted to watch, sometimes I'll do it just for the hell of it, bet on a game or a daily fantasy roster or fantasy baseball. I click on the game, and then it gives me the option of, like, if it's a Red Sox game, the Nesson feed, or the Yes feed if it's a Yankees game. So I can choose the broadcast team.
Was the Yes maybe the first company to go out on its own and have their own network?
I believe so.
That was like 20-something years ago, wasn't it?
They celebrated an anniversary recently. I don't know what it was. Hey, I deep teased this, and it's 9:50, so I got to get to a lot of different things here. Jackson, you might be doing Balloon Party, first segment, Han Solo.
Not a problem. We got Nuggets and Heat tonight.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, get those listeners ready.
Milagro Tequila, listener of the month. May 2023.
Yeah.
History made in yesterday's papal conclave, Doug.
Unanimous.
No, why would that be
Unanimous.
Oh,
First unanimous vote. Buck Swope
how about that?
has won the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month. Even Iggy said it's got to be Swope.
It was a unanimous vote.
Yeah, it had to be Swope. I mean, I was thinking a little bit about that girl with the picture, but she wasn't do
Well,
much.
I could not vote for them because it looked like kind of a hostage situation, black and white, because...
All they did was send one picture. Swope had an email almost every day.
That's all
He
it
put
takes.
together a great video with Jay Jr.
Yep.
All the
What he
pictures
did
he
was
took
great,
at the
yeah.
Dotem and the pre-Dotem party, and he had a big month.
He
so.
did. He had a wonderful month.
Mm-hmm.
Buck Swope, Milagro Tequila, Listener of the Month. Plus, he has the Swope's Pick Sode. I got to listen to that. Called Remembering Jennings, I believe is what
Nice
it's
little
called.
package. You're going to get some tequila. That blue Milagro T-shirt and hat are pretty sweet. So nice little package for you.
There you go, Doug.
Got to come pick it up. We don't have
Yeah.
stamps.
No, we don't have stamps.
We have plenty of stamps, but we actually have a receptionist that you can come up to the
Jody.
office and Jody will hand it to you.
Right.
We do have driving distance off the tee, and it's fun to watch. Driving the ball 300 yards is cool and impresses your buddies, but scoring amounts to getting the ball in the hole. How many times have you hit a great drive only to miss the green, skull a chip, and three-putt your way to a double bogey? While tour players get up and down two-thirds of the time, scratch golfers still only get up and down around half the time. Thus, the best way to lower your scores?
is to improve your short game. And that's why tour players like John Rahm and Max Homa have installed Celebrity Greens in their backyards. Call Clubhouse Turf. That's St. Louis's exclusive partner of Celebrity Greens. Golf Digest Best in Golf, and start improving your game today. The number is 314-834-2339. Visit clubhouseturf.com. Let them know you are a TMA listener. They'll take great care of you. It's clubhouseturf.com. Call 314-834-2339. Clubhouse Turf. I look at my backyard and I think to myself, how glorious would it be to have myself a little green and a little bunker and a little area to chip. I would be out there all the time. I wonder if my betrothed would be on board with that. What do you think, Doug?
Probably not.
I bet she would.
You think so?
Yeah, because then
how can you decide? You're the deciding vote.
Jamison would stay busy.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, I'd definitely do it.
There
I
you
would
go.
just do it while you get your place in Florida. And you're going to ditch the show and leave us.
I'm going to go Adam Scott.
You just brought in Adam Scott somehow.
Well,
I don't know how that happened.
He got to 1 under, and now he's back-to-back bogeys.
Doug, there you
How
go.
about
There's an
Lady
Adam-
Gaga? What's she up to now?
or the St. Charles Bowling Hall of Fame.
Well, I can tell you your Taylor Pendrith pick is 4 over.
Ooh, take that, Doug.
Okay.
How's that feel?
Well, it wasn't a pick. It was just a blind draw.
Yeah. Well, both of us got Mitchell, and he's in second place.
Is he really?
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's 3 and
Good
4
you
under.
guys.
Oh.
Sharp.
Stroke on the lead.
Who's the leader?
Matthew Wallace, I believe.
Really?
5 under.
How about that? Doug, it's time for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. First one of the month of June. Who is going to take an early lead? It's so important in this contest to hold on to that early lead.
Has anybody ever gone wire to wire?
Doug, has anybody ever gone wire to wire in the Design Air
I
Heating?
know Buck Swope may have last month.
He might have, you're right. Can't even imagine watching something just because of the announcer. You know what? I take that back. I wouldn't listen to this show if it wasn't for Tim being on it.
Oh.
And you know what ever happened?
I agree with that.
The Cooper story. Everybody knows the building across the street has no windows. Been boarded up for 75 years. But this email's about my sexual experience last night. Minding my own business, driving through Sunset Hills when I heard an old Richard Simmons show. I hadn't seen it for years. As I watched it through the bedroom window, my back started to ache, so I went in. The handsome man in feet pajamas had fallen asleep watching.
So?
Well, about 10 minutes later, he opened up the back flap and arched his back for an easy entrance.
Oh.
Talk about sweating to the oldies. I bet the dude lost 5 pounds. I gave him my ground and pound.
I did lose 5 pounds.
That's from Big, and then I guess the first name is Sal, and then the last name is Ami.
Big Salami. Italian, and he's new.
Picture this, a wispy 116-pound mustached boy with the frame of a 13-year-old going into puberty. The hog of an adult film star and the bush of one of those tribesmen from a remote jungle island who has never encountered anyone from the civilized world comes home from his treacherous 3-hour workday to his longtime lover. Fueled by high fructose corn syrup, eroticism sweetener, and THC, he ravenously makes love to his partner for upwards of 11 minutes. He gets there. She gets there. 2 become 1. 6 canine eyes stare through the cracked bedroom door as the boy arises from his passion pit. Without saying a word, breathless and perspiring, he leaves his chambers and makes his way into the kitchen and heads straight for the fridge. He pushes aside an abnormal amount of yogis, puddings, and the like. This boy knows exactly what he wants and what he needs. He reaches for the only thing that can quench the thirst that this steamy lovemaking sesh has created. The gallon of whole milk that may or may not have expired a week ago. As he slurps the delectable bovine nectar, some drips down his boy chest, circumvents that 8-inch nipple hair, and trickles down to his dense thicket. He doesn't mind. He looks around, beaming with pride for his conquests, as his mischievous smile forms from ear to ear. This is Plowboy. And scene. That's from Oh My God, Pop, Pop, Stop.
And scene. Oh my God, Pop, Pop, Stop.
Tell me why the KFC in Edwardsville removed popcorn, chicken, and chocolate chip cookies from their menu. Furthermore, where the hell do they get off not having a single pack of strawberry jelly? They expect me to just put butter on my biscuit like some common poor? That kind of move might fly with poverty-stricken diabetic pretending to be wealthy on HD2 like Mr. Licks, but that crap does not sit right with me.
I wouldn't think so.
Guess what makes me even more confused than KFC's menu choices? The fact that Plowsy pronounces the word sorority as sorority. When he first interrupted Doug's story yesterday to weave in a confusing non sequitur about Bama Rush, I thought I misheard him talking like a 2-year-old. Nope. The plow stoner continued to say sorority over and over. But none of you guys corrected him or even seemed to care. And that's why I think it's time for TMA to do the responsible thing and hire a fourth producer. Especially since that one old guy who wears sweaters in June just kind of inexplicably wanders in and out of the studio sometimes. Please consider this my official application. And if you need a celebrity to promote TMA at car shows in DeSoto, I don't mind working on weekends for some valuable exposure either. Sincerely, St. Louis charity softball enthusiast Andrew Jones.
Andrew Jones, softball enthusiast.
Wake up, it's the first of the month, so get up, so cash your checks and come up. Happy 18-month anniversary at Hubbard. Well, 17 months. Well, you didn't really start on New Year's Day. Your first show at Hubbard was on January 4th. Thanks for the history lesson, Columbo. Now, shifting gears. I want to tell you a story about the cat. Yesterday afternoon, I was hanging out at Three Kings to Pair, chatting with the Soulard Twink Boy about the Dotem. He was trying to remember which year he'd played. Talking about Cucky's Gimp Mask, differentiating between restaurant waitresses and strippers. When all of a sudden, I looked down at my phone and Iggy's DMing me to ask what years he coached Fontbonne. Now, I did edit a Swopes Picks called Coach Strode, but I held off releasing it because I really wanted to interview one of his bowlers before interviewing Iggy, but it never materialized. Anyway, the cat was hilarious in this line of question during the investigation. I suppose we get on with it and just release the sode as this with a fresh Iggy interview. Now, if you excuse me, I need to get caught up on my Stephen A. Smith content. One could easily argue there are adults who like Stephen A. Smith talking about eating ass and drinking breast milk more than his hot takes on ESPN. In fact, that's Buck Swope.
Sure it was. Buck Swope with a nice little email.
And that's what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today.
Well, there were some pretty good ones. I thought the best was, oh my God, pop, pop, stop. Thought that was the best.
What was the one that talked about Plowsies?
That was Oh My God, Pop, Pop, Stop.
Yeah, Oh My God, Pop, Pop.
Oh My God, Pop, Pop, Stop has shipped.
Okay.
The Design Air Heating and... Oh, do you have a problem with the word sorority?
Sorority?
It's sorority.
Sorority?
Bunch of R's in there.
Oh my God, Pop, Pop, Stop.
What about that?
That's how it's supposed to be pronounced. You guys are butchering it.
Why?
Isn't that Blueberry Pop Pop?
Indeed.
No,
he does producer
why did he
tags
say
as his ending, and that's Ronnie's producer tag.
Doug, you know Ronnie's cinema.
I don't even know what he's
Oh my God, Ronnie, stop.
Plowsies got
says
some
that?
blueberry sitting in that bowl over there.
Yeah,
blueberry pie?
that's some blackberries.
Oh, nice.
One of my favorites.
Speaking of one of my favorites, it's time for Balloon Party. Doug, we're celebrating our near 17-month anniversary
Almost.
today.
Yeah, a couple more days.
So
17.
it's going to be huge. Jackson will be in my chair tomorrow. KG and O-Town will be in Jackson's chair tomorrow. I'll be back on Monday. Gentlemen, you have a fine weekend. I'll try to go and win it for the Worson Woods Wacko.
Are you really playing, or is this more of this Friday suspension you got from the
St. Margaret,
Scotland people?
Suspension. Cancellation.
Yeah.
Candidly.
We got practice round today?
Practice round in the par 3, which you and I were so successful in last year.
Yeah, finished second.
Yeah,
Probably
Mark Milton.
Should have won, but...
You couldn't make a putt?
Iggy did make a putt.
I mean,
he did. He did make a putt.
Yeah, I think Milton made like a 50-footer, which if it didn't hit the hole, it would have been a sand trap over the ground.
I believe that was his partner.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I know one of them did.
Mark had the reaction like he hit it.
Yeah,
It was
you
smart.
told him to... I still got an effing putt here, and you made it.
And then I made it. Ladies and gentlemen, time for us to go. Doug, we got this balloon party going on down the hallway.
All right, we'll see.
For the Plowhawk, for Action Jackson, for Kenneth Iggy Strode, for my brother Kevin, for Douglas Alvon, and to my co-host, this been Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
TMA wants to send you to Evolution.